What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is Agree to Disagree. Come talk some Eagles with us. Let's go. Let's go.
This ain't the fuck like he wants to think that he stinks.
Oh shit!
It's gone.
Man, everybody, this is Agree to Disagree, only on HUD Radio. Every Sunday, we're brought to you by our doc. Got to make him yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. Find him right on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com, and he's on all your social media platforms as well. Go give him a follow. If you need anything, our doc's there for you. Maybe sweeps throughout the show. Maybe Wilson. I don't know. Wilson didn't get back the text messages. That's Greg Milakovic. I'm Thomas Arnone. Everybody out there joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. At the end of the show, we do it every Sunday. We'll do our Crumb of the Week. Phillies' little win streak finally comes to an end here, but it's okay. I mean, you're not just gonna beat everybody, even if they are an atrocious baseball team. But hey, another series coming up against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So we'll break down some Phillies. Talk about them a little bit. Harper obviously back. Offense non-existent today. But our main topic at hand, since it's right around the corner, is Eagles and Eagles season predictions. That's going to tie into our poll question brought to you by Manscaped. And you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. From the weed whacker, the lawnmower, the ball deodorant, Manscaped's got you covered from every angle, head to toe, 2-in-1 shampoo, conditioner. I love all their products. If you don't have one, go get one. Okay?
Fall's coming around. Get the lip balm. Fall's coming around.
And get the Ultra Premium Collection, too. You see that on the screen. It's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of everything for the people. Go dabble. Go enjoy yourself. Our poll question for tonight's show. Might get some laughs from some people, but guess what? You're either all in or you're out. No, for real. But our poll question for tonight's show is: the Eagles will win the NFC. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the follow, comment in. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and we'd love to have you tonight. Sorry, I got to pull this back up because I wanted to flash the little thing. I had to get the bar back up there at the top. We're back. We're back. To this poll, this is, you know me. I mean, we're going to be.
There he is.
Let's go.
Fresh from the reptile zoo.
Fucking intro. I apologize. Let's go.
So you're right at the perfect time, right into the poll, which the Eagles will win the NFC. Agree or disagree? And we told everybody chime in, let us know what you guys think. Listen, I'm the Kool-Aid guy usually, but I can't agree to win in the NFC. I mean, listen, is it possible? You know, the fact that I have them winning the division, could they win the NFC? I guess, but I don't have that many concerns about the roster. And I'm not saying I have a ton of concerns about the quarterback, but we have a lot of question marks there. And to win the NFC, there's stupid, and then there's agreeing to that. Like, you know, I can't buy into it. As much as I believe in this football team, I believe in this roster, I believe in the skill position players. You know, I believe you win up front, and we have two really great fronts here. But at some point, my quarterback has to be at the level to do that too. Right. And I don't know if he's at that level. I don't know. And I don't think really anybody out there does know. Right. And if you claim you do, I think you're drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit too much. And if you're like, there's no chance he can. And then I think you're a little bit too negative. Right. I think there's like a middle ground where, hey, this is a big year for him. Like, I don't think we should be talking like winning the NFC. Not that we're talking about, it's just a poll question, right? But like, I don't think as a fan base we should be like NFC. It's NFC champions or bust. No, let's start winning the division. Let's start winning a playoff game. After that, it becomes house money talk. So there's no pressure on this football team this year per se to win the NFC. There just isn't. There's other teams that pressure's more on. And one of them is the reigning champs. I mean, even though they won it, they got a lot of money there. They got a lot of veterans there. I'm not going to say pressure because they just won it. But, they have more people picking them than the Eagles do, right? And I think the Eagles, when you talk about steps, is the next steps. Hey, are we good enough to win a playoff game, right? Are we good enough to get there 2 years in a row, right? And then once we get there, are we good enough to win one? And then after that, we can continue to judge it. But I think this is a playoff win or bust football team. That's what it should be, right? And when you're talking about that kind of situation where this group hasn't won a playoff game yet together as a whole, right? As Jalen as your quarterback, I think it's unfair to even put those expectations on them, right? And it's never unfair because you say, hey, Tom, like I said, you got them winning a division, like 11 wins. Like they should be a team that you would agree that they'll win the NFC. Like if you told me the Eagles might win the NFC, I would say, yeah, sure, I agree. Or like 60% chance, right? Would I buy into maybe like that? Sure, okay, but I'm not saying they will win it because I just think there's other teams in the NFC, and it's not a powerhouse. We talked about it last Sunday, but it's still good football teams here and some elite quarterbacks. All right, and one playing in Tampa, one's in Green Bay. Okay, and we just watched with the Rams last year. Right. And that's just a name of few. There's still good football teams in the NFC. So I think it's unfair. We don't know what the Niners are going to be with no Jimmy G. We don't know if Trey Lance is better, but regardless, those expectations I think are just a little too much Kool-Aid, but tis the season. This is the time of the year. I get it. That conversation can be revisited after 4 weeks. Right. And I hate to cop that out. But we have question marks still. We have question marks at safety, which we talked about isn't a huge deal, but it's still a thing. Okay. And it looks deeper, but it's not like there's not like one guy, right? Makes sense. So we have some question marks. And this isn't a knock on Jalen, but we had question marks at the quarterback position.
Absolutely.
So if I'm Green Bay, then if I'm a Packers fan, I say, yeah, we win it. We're going to win it. Right. Well, I don't know how we win it, but we're going to win it. Right. Because I got Rodgers. If I'm a Rams fan, yeah. Right. If I'm a Bucs fan, sure. You better hope that's your expectations. That's what you're supposed to do. Right. And maybe there's like another one or two teams that's in that conversation.
If you're a Cowboy fan, the window's closing. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Cowboys, if you look at, there's other teams that I'm drawing a blank on, if you look at.
No, you're good.
I think that's really all of them. Right. I mean, I'm trying to think who else really pushes through that? Like, what other team are we maybe missing in the NFC?
No,
that should be saying that.
Yeah, like you said last week. I mean, we respect the Redskins, of course. You know what I mean? So you add them to the mix, but they're not going to win the NFC. You know what I mean? So you just say, hey, I like Ron Rivera, and I like what they're doing. So, I mean, they have a shot to be better than the Cowboys, which to most of us that are normal fucking football fans, we're like, that's not a big thing. I mean, the Cowboy crumbs, they're like, oh, what are you talking about? This is crazy. You know what I mean? So you can drink the Kool-Aid if you're a Cowboy fan and whatever. I mean, we, us football guys that look at it, we're like, the Redskins are pretty good. You know what I mean? The Redskins could be pretty good. Excuse me. You know what I mean? Like, their X factor is Wentz. That's the bottom line. You know what I mean? Everybody needs things to go right for them in the NFL. But for the Redskins, if Wentz can ever figure it out, then they might be pretty good. All right? And Packers are always going to be the Packers. We know that. Rams are going to be really good. Saints, if Crab Legs, absolutely. We know what Crab Legs did last year. I'm not sold on them. A lot of people are. But if Crab Legs takes the next step and doesn't turn the ball over, they're pretty good on defense. And They're electric on offense.
Especially now that Kamara didn't get suspended.
Exactly. If they do things offensively like they should, the Saints are pretty good. So there's like Tommy said, there's a lot of factors that go into this question. So it doesn't make you a hater, it doesn't make you a homer. It just means there's a lot of factors that go into this thing. So I love the question, and I think the Eagles are still short a little bit. But if they take that step at the quarterback position, they can really be elite because the rest of their roster on paper is elite. So if they take this step at the quarterback position, look out. Look out. I mean, he could easily give us all the DX, the Generation X sign and say, suck it. All right. And he's going to take his next step. He's going to do his thing. Fantasy-wise, they got him as a top 5 fantasy guy. And I understand that with the games not played in fantasy. So we all know that. But fantasy-wise, he's a top 5 guy. So we will see what happens from him. But you need him. Eagle fans need him to take that next step and show that he's not just a fantasy guy. He's a guy that can win football games in the final 2 minutes, especially with this defense, and make some noise when it comes postseason time. And that's all you guys are asking for. You know what I mean? Like, everybody wants to say, oh, stop being a hater. Stop being a hater. You guys are such haters. Nobody's a hater. It's reality time. Reality time is when the lights go on. Not in week 4, Jalen. We know you're going to fill the stats sheet up. What happens in week 18 when it's playoff time, brother? That's what Eagle fans are asking for.
Yeah, and we're not asking for the beginning either, right? We're asking for you to be able to show you can do it not only in the postseason, but the ability to be able to get there, right? And show us just steps, right? Like I talked about the few last week, whatever. It was all ran together, but in terms of you being able to, like, everything that's talked about in camp, okay, that's great. Like, his timing looks better, his rhythm looks better, his understanding the offense looks better. That's all great, and that's a good thing. I'd rather hear that than hear the opposite, for sure, right? But like I said, and I'll continue to say it, right? It all starts week 1 when the lights turn on. I don't care if you're playing Detroit or not. I don't care who you're playing. You're playing an NFL team. We know this league, okay? So it all starts week 1. So when them lights turn on, everybody else, when their money really matters, right? And when the real star players in this league turn it up a notch, it's a different game. These practices are great, and all this, closed environment stuff is awesome, cool. It's good reps, sure, all right. But I mean, we didn't play a guy this preseason again, right? Like he's Brady. I mean, it's another preseason where he took a series. He had a series, right? Okay,
and Brady played,
right? But I'm talking about, like, we're treating Hurts he's the guy. And he should be treated like he's the guy. But I mean, Tua was out there playing last night, right? And a meaningless third preseason game. Why? Because their coach looks at it like, hey, he's got a new offense to learn, right? And the more reps, the better, right? And then I look at a guy like Jalen and say, well, what have you necessarily earned in terms of the trust from the coaches to say, hey, you don't have to take any more snaps? Like, I don't need the guy to play, right? Because it's meaningless. But I find that a little strange. Again, so hopefully that means something. Maybe that means that, like, hey, everything they've seen in practice, they really believe in. They think he's got enough reps, and they believe his knowledge of the offense is at a higher level because it's year 2 in this offense. And, but I'm a believer in, like, hey, I don't need you to see every preseason game, but at least that first week, then, hey, let me get me in the halftime. You know what I mean? Just take snaps in the halftime, and then you don't got to touch the field the rest of the season. Now, I say that guy gets hurt, I'm not as confident as I am if he's on the field, and I think Gardner is a fine little backup. But I'm just going to keep it real. Like, what Jalen brings with his legs, especially in the regular season or period, regular season or not, like, his ability to run around can break you down. And that's any running quarterback that can make plays with his legs. So, we talked about this going into last year. I thought the reason that they could be a playoff team is I thought his legs would help get us there. Well, guess what? As I'm not Captain Obvious, right? Hey, Captain Obvious, but that's what happened. It came to fruition. We are a top rushing team in all of football. That's how you get yourself into the dance if you don't throw the ball well enough. Well, now year 2, he's got the tools that should be able to throw the ball well enough, and now we're going to find out. But to the poll, like, go ahead, Greg. But to the poll, like, I just find it hard to agree that they will. You could tell me, Tom, if this poll was they'll get to an NFC title game, okay. I told you, win a playoff game, I'll say absolutely, because that's so important. But anything after that, I don't know.
He's the X factor. I'll let Greg go. I'll just be real quick. He's the X factor. You know what I mean? So everything you just said, and you've never been a hater. You just say, hey, show me. This is a show me state. You know what I mean? This isn't Missouri. This is Philadelphia, but it's a show me state. You know what I mean? Like, you got to show me. And when you're undrafted and you're the 52nd pick, whatever, you know what I mean? A lot of people thought he would have went later. You know what I mean? The Eagles reached in a lot of people's opinions. So it's show me time. You know what I mean? It's show me time. This roster is full. This roster is loaded. Right? So if they stub their toe, it might be at the quarterback position, and maybe it's not. Maybe if he does his thing, and other people stub their toe, then okay. You know what I mean? Then he said, "Hey, listen, I did everything I could." But this roster on paper is good enough to end up in the NFC championship game on paper, and the game's not played on paper, but. It all falls at his foot. It all falls at his feet.
Tasha, real quick, and then go, Greg.
Yeah.
She says, who cares what you think? The coaches know what's best for the team. I'm not saying Nick Sirianni doesn't know more than me, and I'm not debating it. If you sort of listen to what I just said, I wasn't necessarily debating it. I'm just saying that, like, I watch other guys that are playing that they take it as some meaningful reps. But then I understand the other side of it, that if he got hurt, we would say, why is he out there? So I get it all. This is why none of it means anything. It's just, hey, can I be healthy by week 1? I've always said that year in, year out. So in no way am I saying, like, I'm running around yelling that the guy needs to play X amount in the preseason. I don't care if he never suits up, like, in the preseason. You know what I mean? That doesn't faze me. What phases me is he healthy week 1, and then we start finding out what kind of football team we have.
Yeah.
Overall.
But be ready to go week 1 too.
Is he making adjustments in practice? All right. So if you're not going to play in preseason, that's all we're saying, Tasha, and that's all Tom's saying. If you're making adjustments in practice, okay. So then we'll just wait for the regular season, right? But we saw it in week 1. In week 1, we saw it. Okay. So he got out of the pocket. That's what he does. Good job. He got a late hit. It extended the drive. Okay, let's clap. Can we clap? Okay. All Tom's saying is, in the preseason, when you get reps, it's for getting better at what your weaknesses are. And his is from staying in the pocket and from throwing from the pocket. And everybody says, and everybody that all the other guys are on opposite ends of us who are realists say, who the fuck cares? Oh, he's an athlete. Do whatever you want to do. Just make plays. Okay, that's cute and all, right? But if you want to be successful in this league, you got to make plays from the pocket. That's just reality. I don't really care what anybody else says. That's reality. And you can call me a hater. You call us haters. Call whatever. You have to make plays from the pocket, and that's all we're saying is the more reps you get from inside the pocket. Doesn't mean we want you to get hurt. Doesn't mean we want you to play a whole half. We just want you to make plays from inside the pocket, all right? And people are going to say, hey, look, shut the hell up. He's a playmaker, all that. Okay, let's see. That's all. We will see. If he can do it his way, and that leads to an NFC championship, God bless you. If his way leads to an NFC East title and nothing else, okay, then you got yourself another 5. I'm not killing 5. I know Tommy loves 5. I know a lot of people love 5. That's great. But at the end of the day, If you want to be better than 5, then you got to cut the nets down. All right? Getting there is cute. You got to finish. That's just me. Okay. Sorry.
No, you're absolutely right. There's definitely some questions going into it, right? I mean, I don't know if that there is a right or wrong answer to how much to play in the preseason, right? Because you see people playing a lot, you see people playing none. I don't know what we don't know what the right answer is. All I know is we better week 1, we better know what this offense is going to do, right? I mean, you could ask questions to the coaches, to the training staff, to the players themselves. All we want. How's the offense looking? How's the offense looking? Because we don't know, and we probably wouldn't have known from the preseason anyway with how vanilla it's going to be, right? But what we do see in the preseason is just to get a few reps. We saw one series from our offense, and even from our defense. You saw one series, right, wrong, and different, right? But there's a lot of question marks then that come on the week 1. Right, there's a lot of question marks on being ready to go. Now, seeing the other rash of injuries throughout the league, we can sit here and probably say Sirianni probably made the right decision in that aspect. Right, we don't have a T.J. Watt, we don't have a Thibodeau coming off of an injury, right, and stuff like that. We don't have key players that got hurt. So from that aspect, awesome. But what do we get week 1? Do we get a slow, sluggish offense because we don't? We're going up against a team, as we watch in Hard Knocks, that is going at it every day in practice, or do we get this awesome offense led by Jalen Hurts that's going to hopefully light up scoreboards? I mean, to the poll question, I agree. I have a ticket, saying that we're going to win the NFC. Is it crazy to say? Yes, it absolutely is crazy to say. But that's what this time of the year is about, right? We're all about looking for the future. We're all looking for something to buy into. I'm going to buy into that Jalen takes those steps, that he comes out week 1 and is ready to go, and this offense clicks. I'm going to buy into, as Sweep said, an overall roster that is so much better than it was last year from both sides of the football. Are there concerns? Tommy, you mentioned the safety position. We could also mention the running back position, right? What do we, what's truly back there? Is Miles truly healthy? We hope so, right? We haven't seen him all preseason, and that's fine. We don't have to, but are you healthy?
Yeah, and to clean this chat up for a minute, not Mike, but just in general, we're the biggest advocates on guys not playing in the preseason. So if you're just joining us and it's your first time here, I mean, stick around for a while, because we're actually the opposite. I don't need to see guys playing preseason at all. It's meaningless. I get nothing out of it, right? Besides an injury. So I've watched guys light it up in the preseason and not translate to the regular season. So you don't got to convince me about guys not playing. Like Tasha, you do not have to convince me. I don't want guys playing. I'm just saying I find it interesting that you're practicing against a team this week and their guys playing their franchise quarterback, right, who they selected a lot higher, is playing in that football game, and our guy isn't. So I said, wow, Nick must have a ton of confidence in what he's seen from Jalen and his knowledge of the offense in year 2 with Nick. So I mean, I'm saying I think Jalen has a really good year. I don't think he doesn't. Right. And if it's more on the legs, then it's more with the legs. Right. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and sit on an island and tell you, right, Greg? And I don't know if this is what you were trying to say, but I'm not going to tell anybody that he gets that much better in the passing game. Right. I'm not going to sit here on that island. Could he make, would I sit on the island of him making some small strides? Sure. But if we believe he's going to sit back there and in the pocket and be elite at that, I'm not ready to say that. And to win the NFC total as a whole, I think I need to believe in that. Makes sense? I need to believe in that. If I don't care how great my roster is, I got to believe in can he make big throws? If we're in Green Bay and it's minus 10 degrees, can he spin it? And I'm not telling you he can't, but from what I've seen, it hasn't been there yet. Now, Greg, you're banking on a lot to win the NFC, baby. So that ticket, and I know it's this season, but woo. And that's not good. That's not good for all of us. Not good.
Well, we all know, Greg. No, The listeners don't know Greg, but we know Greg, so not a good sign.
Hold on, Tasha, is that not exactly the point though? I said, what has he done to deserve to not play at all but a series in the preseason?
Just leave it. We explained ourselves as much as we could, so that's fine. Tasha feels that Jalen Hurts is a QB1 and he's an elite top 4 guy that doesn't have to play, and that's okay, Tosh. I mean, I'm glad you feel that way because obviously, so does Sirianni. So let's see. That's all.
Hopefully it's let's go. Hopefully he is.
If you're right, Tasha, if you're right and Sirianni's right, Eagles should win 13 games, right? That's all I'm saying. And everybody else might say, oh, you're fucking crazy. No, that's what you told us, Tosh. You told us you telling us he's elite. And maybe he is. I don't know. Who the fuck am I? But the Eagles should win 12 or 13 games then. So hold your beer, hold that excitement. If they don't, then I need you to put blame somewhere else. Where's the blame then?
Wells, what do you think about the poll?
I think they're going to win the NFC East. I don't think they're going to win the NFC. No.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Why don't they win the NFC, Wills? Tell everybody. Great to see you, Wills. Hope your vacation.
Yeah, how are you guys?
Love you, brother.
Why don't they win? I'm not getting texts. I don't know what's going on. I was like, I guess
no. You're okay, buddy. Why don't they win the NFC? You're okay, buddy. Just
I'm good.
Your opinion.
Okay. I see them going about 11-6. I really like the team. Now, listen, they could. I'll preface this with saying they could play amazing. Like, I think the defense is going to be very good. It could be even better than I think. And then we could talk anything. Because if your defense is dominant, then anything can be on the table. But where I'm at right now is I think we're about 11-6 team. I think we'll win the NFC East. And I think we'll probably lose a playoff game that we think we should win. Because I don't think Jalen Hurts is there yet. I hope he proves me wrong.
Bingo was his name.
You can win games in the regular season with a lot of gimmicks and a lot of things. But when it comes to the brass, everybody knows this, comes to the playoffs, you're probably going to be in bad weather. If we're at home or anywhere in the NFC. And you're going to have to make throws. But that's the bottom line. Teams, it's like Tampa showed us last year. Ain't no fucking around in the postseason, okay? You have to throw the ball to beat us. We ain't going to let you run around and make plays. And it looked pretty bad last year in the postseason. So, I mean, I'm trusting that Jalen has gotten a lot better. But I don't think that postseason success is going to be there yet.
Bingo was his name, and that's all. That's why I didn't want to put you on the spot. I just want to ask you what your opinion was, because I'll respect your opinion.
I hope I'm wrong. I'm fucking hoping I'm wrong.
I'm just saying that's it. And if he proves everybody wrong, then Eagles, the sky's the limit for the Eagles. There is no ceiling for the Eagles because roster-wise, Eagles are loaded.
Yeah, and the thing.
I don't know who he's proven. No, real quick. I don't know who he's proven wrong, right? Either. Like, it's not like every person, at least on the HUD airways, is saying the guy can't play, the guy's not good enough, right? Nobody's saying that.
It's not bad.
No. People around here are talking NFC East titles, right? It means the quarterback must be serviceable, must be pretty decent, because you're not talking about that unless you have an elite defense that's like over the top elite. Right, you got to ask your quarterback still has to be able to do some things at a really high level.
I think he's gonna have a good year. I will tell you that right now. I think he's gonna have a very good year, Jalen Hurts. I really do.
Top 5 fantasy guy.
Yeah, he could be 5 to 7 for sure.
No. I'm just saying that's where he is right now, buddy. And before you got on, I was just saying that the game's not playing in fantasy. I'm just telling you. That's where he is right now. Like
and that's great for the regular season, like we talked about. That's great, but
I don't know. You're saying everything. You're 100% right. I'm just telling you, he's a top 6 fantasy guy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Tasha, I said they were going to win a Super Bowl after he got hurt. So, if you're asking anybody on the panel,
we caught lightning in a bottle with that, though. I mean, anyone would agree. Obviously, Nick played the fucking best football of his life. Our defense was great. We ran the ball down teams' throats. And I think if you look at our roster right now, I'll argue with anyone outside of the quarterback position just because we don't really know what Jalen is yet. Okay, I know he's still very young, so I'm still giving him time. I'm not throwing fire on him. I'm just saying we don't really know what he is yet. Outside of the quarterback, I mean, who wouldn't want our roster? I might take our roster over any roster.
That's what I'm saying.
Over any roster in football.
Well, she hit the nail on the head though. I'm talking about Jonathan Gannon. I mean, if I'm looking and breaking down this roster, my biggest question mark is the defensive coordinator because I don't like him. I know.
I mean, huge year on him for sure, 100%.
Absolutely.
Because
if we fail defensively, it's because of him. I don't think it's a player thing.
I think we can all agree that we got better last year defensively as the season went on, but beginning of the year we couldn't. I mean, we were bad. We were flat out bad defensively. Yep. So
I'm for 80% completion percentage.
Yeah, I mean, I think how many five straight 80% guys or something?
Yeah, 5 or 6, something like that.
Yeah, against anybody good,
that's why
spun it. But against the bad guys, we look like world beaters.
I was putting Wilson on the spot because he just showed up. That's why I was truly asking Wilson his opinion because, I mean, roster-wise, this team's loaded. So
very, very talented roster.
Where did they stub their toe? And it could be anywhere. I mean, nobody has a crystal ball. But where do they stub their toe? You know what I mean?
Well, it's 3 places, right? It's 3 places. It's the quarterback, it's the head coach, or it's the defensive coordinator. I mean, that's where the toe stubs come in. It doesn't come in on what's on this roster unless there's a million injuries, right? Like it comes. That's where it's all going to fall on. I mean, that's the guys because if we're not winning football games, it has to do with those guys, right? I don't believe our second.
And that's any team. That's not just our team, right? That's any football team across the NFL.
Yeah, but not many have this much talent on the roster.
No, completely agreed. But generally, it's going to be one of your coordinators, your head coach, or your quarterback doesn't live up to their end of the bargain, and that's where the struggles begin, right? I mean, look at over at Arizona. Look at Arizona, like second half of the year when Kyler goes into his down spurt, right? I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, we always look at Vegas as Vegas is Vegas. They don't miss a lot. Where are the Eagles in the NFC with Vegas? And I asked Greg that.
Second. I'll go pull it up, but they have we're at 9.5. They have Dallas at 10.5.
I think we're 4, right? I think we're 4th.
Okay.
Oh, you talk about overall fan? Okay, give me a second. Yeah.
NFC wise.
Yeah. Give me a second.
I mean, listen, that's why I said you can't poo-poo the poll. Right? You can't just say no shot. But like I said, I got 60%. 60. Listen, I think there's a chance of them going there. Like that's where I would be like, yeah, I can see us going there. Winning it, I just think I don't know. I'm not there yet. I'm not even there getting there. You got to start. You got to walk before you can run, right? So let's start with winning a playoff game, right? Let's start with that. Let's start with a division title. Let's start with some of those types of things. And
that starts at Jalen's feet, just like you're saying.
See, my whole thing is, I want to get this out before I forget it. Like Jalen Hurts, and I know Tommy and Sweeps, and probably even Craig, I think we all pretty much felt the same way about him when he was drafted. And to me, he's exactly what I expected when he was drafted. He's a guy that still hasn't shown that he can beat you from the pocket, throwing the football down the field. And I'm not sure that I'll ever be that guy. And I questioned that when he was drafted. Has he gotten better? Of course he's gotten better. He's a hard worker. Like we always said, we like the kid. He's a good kid. He's a hard worker. He's a leader. I like all those things about him. But that doesn't change the fact that he doesn't go through his progressions fast enough, and he doesn't have a big enough arm. And so far, he hasn't thrown the ball down the field good enough to win in the league. And right now, that's all I care about. I don't care about anything else because he can show me all the other shit. I know he can do the other shit good. I want to see that. If he can show me that, then I can get on board. But until then, I'm not on board. And I don't think we'll win big games until then.
No, and that's why you're spot on. And that's before you got on. That's what we were talking about. That's all exactly what we said. We said we were talking to Tasha, who's obviously a Hurts number 1 fan, and that's okay. Be Hurts number 1 fan. All we were saying was, and Tommy had mentioned it, was okay. Sirianni doesn't want him to play in preseason. Nobody working through stuff. I hope he's working through it in their eyes. I hope he's working through it in practice and in these joint practices because Hurts is still a guy that can't throw from the pocket. I don't care what you say. You can be his family member. You can be his biggest fan. He can't throw from the pocket. Doesn't want to throw from the pocket. All right? The first sign of trouble, a.k.a. the Jets game, he left. He exited stage right, got a late hit, extended the drive, and then everybody everybody had the lube out, and everybody was jerking him off. Great first drive. Great job. All right? If not for the late hit, and I'm not saying this is a woulda, coulda, shoulda lick. If not for the late hit, the Eagles are trying a 52-yard field goal or they're punting. All right? So that drive against the Jets does not happen. All the other results after that doesn't happen.
Yeah, but I'll rebuttal that a little bit because I think like I don't want him. I know what you're saying, and there's also the other side. Like I don't want him to do what they did to Donovan, right? Which was they did to Donovan. Since we went back there a little earlier, we'll go back to Donovan again because that's a good comparison, right? Is what they did to Donovan. They said, "Oh, we need you to stop running a little bit." No. That's what made him lethal. So I don't want you to get away from your instincts, Jalen, right? Because you did make a really good. Listen, the other throws were like checkdowns, but the one that Dallas got, that ball was delivered. That ball was delivered on time, right? So that was a good ball, right? Preseason game or not, like okay, that's a good ball delivered on time, fine. But I agree with you that I don't want to see that too much, like overkill of that, right? Sweeps, because that's his tendency. Go right. I would like to see him. Hey, maybe we roll out left a little bit too. I know I've seen throws like that in practice, right? But I'd like to see more of that in games. But I also don't want him to take away on that big time athletic ability. O'Neal just hit a 3-run homer, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
But I don't want to take away from that part of his game either, right, guys? So like I'm almost in the middle, like where I want to see enough of you trusting yourself to stay in there, right? I don't need to. If 7 out of 10 times you stayed in the pocket and 3 you escaped, or 6 out of 10 you stayed in and 4 you escaped, okay, because that's way higher number than where you've been at, right? And that's what I think the most important thing is, because I don't want him to change who he is, right? When a guy gets banged up, then you say, hey, we need to stick inside the pocket a little bit more, right? But like you know what we talked about earlier, all these quarterbacks run around and make plays. So I don't want you to stop being a playmaker. I just want to see, and this is, I know what Sweeps was talking about too. I just want to see you show you can do it enough. It doesn't have to be overkill. Like I don't need you in there all day. I don't need you every throw. Like look at him, he's on time every pass. Like sometimes I want you to go take off. Sometimes I want you to go roll out if you don't see something, and maybe a play breaks down. And a corner bites on something, and then you got a home run ball. Like I want to see. This is why I think you can be an asset in this league, because you're so athletic. They're the guys that back break you. Like Mahomes kills you. He's not Mahomes, but I made a comparison for a second on something. Mahomes' legs is what wears you out. It's not his arm and all that's delicious. We know that, but his back breaking plays are his leg getting those back breaking plays. Right? It's he just scrambled for 10 yards on a 3rd and 8. You thought you had him off the field, right?
Yep.
And this guy goes and makes a play. Or 3rd and 12, this is going to be a tough completion, right? There's pressure up the middle. He rolls out. Next thing you know, something breaks down, and you got a big play down the field. Like that's 2022 NFL, being these guys who can extend. Even Stafford, not a statue. You know what I mean? Not a guy, not a statue guy, but he can be. But he can be. There's only like a few statue guys left in the league. So, Jalen, I speak for all of us. I want you to be you. Just show in your ability to be you. Can you grow at the other side of it, right? Because your whole life you were able to get away with being as athletic as you are, as you've been. Now, can you realize that, hey, this game will catch up to me if I can't throw enough? And I don't think one thing I think I saw somebody come in. I don't think it's necessarily his arm strength. I don't think it's like he doesn't have a Herbert arm. I mean, we all tell you that, right? He also doesn't have like a puss arm. He's like almost in the middle on arms. He's got like a weird throwing motion.
He's not Chad Pennington.
He's got like a weird throwing motion a little bit that I think slows him down.
I hear you, Wills.
Chad Pennington had he was phenomenal at throwing guys open,
accurate as
which is
son of a bitch.
Yeah,
but this is the thing,
guys open.
He has a weird throwing motion, I think, that takes too much time, and that's what makes him look like he has like not a strong arm. I think is more his thing. but he just needs to anticipate. We had this conversation a million weeks.
It's all about anticipation for him.
Just trust it. And listen, I said it. We talked about it earlier. Nick said, hey, he's going through his reads faster. His anticipation's better. That's great, though. We're still talking about practice. So that's a good thing. Because it could be the opposite. But he's also not going to come out and tell you, this guy's gotten no better.
Yeah.
But him and his teammates have claimed that he's gotten better. So, listen, we expect out of everybody in the league, for most guys, that we know this guy's a worker and a good kid. So we would expect his head to be screwed on straight and him having the want to. Because we talk about it all the time, Sweeps, in our line of work. A 1-2 goes a long way, right? We can lead you there. We can lead you to the water, baby, but are you going to drink on your own? Because you got to drink on your own. I can't drink it for you. It's impossible for me to ever drink that for you unless I spit it into your mouth. Unless I literally in your mouth.
Baby birds? Baby birds?
Exactly.
Baby birds?
I'll drop down there, Wilson. Look up, Wilson.
No, you're right. You're right 100%. It's one thing to be a good, tremendous teammate.
Clip that.
And you expect all these guys to be tremendous teammates. You know what I mean? So kudos to the Eagles. And then, like you said, from my standpoint, you see it from the Dolphins. You know what I mean? Tyreek Hill with a straight face thinks that Tua is more accurate and a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. That's bitter. That's bitter beer face. You know what I mean? So you expect your teammates to be in the fight with you. And the question is, can you take that next step? You know what I mean? So for Eagle fans, can Jalen take that next step? And can he make his teammates say, hey, this guy is everything we thought he could be and more? All right? And if you're a Dolphin fan, like Sweeps, can Tua ever take the next step? Other than throwing 5-yard outs. All right, here we go.
So I got the Eagles NFC numbers here for you. The odds to win the NFC. They currently are sixth. They have 6. So you got Bucks at plus 340. You got the Packers and the Rams at plus 500 both. You got the Niners at plus 750. That's a shocker to me with an unknown Trey Lance. Not that the Niners aren't good. We know they're going with Trey Lance, not Jimmy G, right? So,
yeah, I mean, one thing I know is about the Niners that Shanahan will find a way to get the ball into his playmakers' hands.
Sure.
I don't know how good Lance is. I don't know how good Lance is going to be down the stretch of games and shit like that in big moments. But he'll get the ball. He'll get the ball to Debo. He'll get the ball to Ayuk.
No, Wilson's right.
Kittle.
They'll be up 28-3. I don't know how they'll finish. You know what I mean? Sure, absolutely.
Cowboys there are 5th at plus 950, and then we're here at 6th. The Eagles at plus 1200.
I tell you what, plus 1200 is that's good value though.
That's what I got. That.
I'd say that's good value.
Who's after the Eagles?
Are above us.
Who's after the Eagles? Arizona.
Next 3, the next 3 are Arizona plus 14. Saints plus 17, and the Vikings at plus 2,000.
That's it. That Arizona one. I like that play a little bit.
Fuck them. I like the Eagles and the Saints at that value. Huge.
Jameis.
Well,
Kamara not get suspended is
crab legs is disgusting, but there's a lot of other pieces. Crab legs.
I like Jameis.
He just has to do enough, Wilson.
I like Jameis. First off, once you tear your ACL and then you're dancing in the locker room after a win, I'm on board. I'm on board with a torn ACL dance.
Yeah, I just think when I say Arizona value-wise is because they showed they can win regular season games and then fall apart. But maybe it's the year where they put it together. There's always that one team that maybe puts it together. I don't know about Kyler. I don't know
about their offense though.
I don't know either. I don't know.
My thing is I like Kyler. I think
Hopkins out.
I think Ertz might have a great year for them, but like I said, no DeAndre for at least 6, right? He's on the pup, and James Conner. I mean, James Conner 15 touchdowns last year with 700 yards. I mean, I don't know. James Conner doesn't turn it. I like James Conner. Okay, came back from cancer. Great story. He doesn't move the dial for me. To me, James Conner he's a whatever. And Benjamin, I don't know.
Their running game is going to be essentially like our running game, though, right? It's all going to be predicated off of Kyler, right? So you know what I mean. James Conner is just going to get a lot off of the menace that Kyler Murray is. You know, they had Chase Edmonds there last year. He's now in Miami.
Yeah, he's in Miami. I tell you what, Miami sweeps. I know you're still questioning Tua, and as you should be. I don't know how he's going to be throwing the ball down the field, but that little nerd that you have now, he'll find a way to get. Because I like Mostert. They'll use Edmonds. They'll use Mostert. They'll use Tyreek. They'll probably throw 1,001 bubble screens a game.
Yeah.
Like Tua's going to go 680 for 840. They're like, he's the greatest completion percentage ever. Like, how many passes were behind the line of scrimmage? 600 of 680.
That's what I'm saying. You have to have eyeballs like us. You know, the other night against the Eagles, 6 for 7 for like 100 yards. Oh, whoop-dee. He didn't fucking stretch the fucking field. Who the fuck cares?
Well, he threw a 51-yarder to Tyreek.
The first ball
that was behind.
Yeah,
behind.
Exactly. I mean, obviously,
but it was underthrown. It was an underthrown ball.
Yeah, but the problem isn't why he's going to be successful is because you have two guys that can take bubble screens to the house. So if you establish the bubble screen game like they're going to and getting the ball out of the hands quick, we know how this is going to go. Teams are going to have to cheat up, and the next thing you know, you're fake bubble screening, and the other guy on the other side's going to the house. So, I think he obviously it's not hard to say who he's throwing the ball to, but I actually think he's going to be really successful just because of what he has. And I like the head coach. I like the hire. I'm not a big Shanahan tree type guy because I don't, I feel about Kyle Shanahan, but that's a really good hire for the Dolphins. I almost think they finally fell in some shit with what happened. Like, cause I thought Brian Flores was a good hire. I still like Brian Flores a little bit, but I think where you have the offensive things that you have at your disposal, that this is a no-brain hire when you saw what that offense was able to do in San Fran with less, right? So you're like, okay, zone read run game. You know how that goes all the way back from Denver days, how good that running game usually is and that scheme. So I think they're going to be really good, but back to the Eagles, I think the Eagles are going to be really good too, right? I mean, you look at both teams, like a lot of talent on the outside. Both teams said to their quarterbacks, hey, Tua, Jalen, hey, time's yours, guys, because you have weapons, big-time weapons, and obviously Tua has more, right? But in terms of the Eagles, like I think our run defense is going to be really strong, and I think that's going to be the big difference maker defensively. But are we able to take the ball away enough? Because even last year, we didn't overly take the ball away again. Right.
I'd like to see us get to the quarterback more.
Yeah, well, is he going to be vanilla, Wills? Is he going to blitz a little bit? Is he going to decide to bring a fifth guy? Is he going to do some of these things with now?
Like we have the personnel to do that.
We have the linebackers to cover now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
Kaiser and Nakobe both are good cover guys, right? I think. I mean, when you look at our front, I'm not going to tell you it's the best in football, but shit, man. Because we don't know what Jordan Davis is. Obviously, hasn't played in the pros yet.
I'll tell you what he is.
There's
He's
some
fucking
things.
Moose knuckle is what he is.
No,
he's a.
But I can make a case as the best overall defensive front in football. I could make the case.
You're right. And the question is,
no, for sure.
Sorry to cut you off. What do you do with that, though? You know what I mean? Like, you have to, and this is anybody in the NFL. You know what I mean? It's all cute to be, listen, great on paper, and it's all cute to actually be productive a little bit. But if you take away the way you take away the football, separates you from the rest of these teams in the league. You know what I mean? Can they get some strip sacks? All right, and then you take care of the ball in plus territory. Can you get some pick sixes? Can you get some picks that are timely picks? And you flip the field position. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that go in, and I know you guys aren't stupid. You guys understand this. There's a lot of things that go into the defensive end, the defensive side of the ball. It's not just about having a great front four. It's not about, on paper, we're great. Can you create turnovers in plus territory? And can you maybe get some pick sixes, or can you get a sack? Can you get a scoop and a score? You know what I mean? There's other things that go into this. I know you guys know this. And that will take you to the elite. That'll take you to the elite level.
No, that will sweeps, and that's something we did a little bit better of, at least scoring wise, especially from Slay. But again, can you create pressure? And if you can create pressure, then this team's even probably better than people think they are, right?
Yep.
And that's the facts. And when you look at both fronts, like not even the defensive line, the offensive line, Greg, we talked about this a little bit on Wednesday. I mean, you want to talk about not just your starters are you're loaded. I mean, you got backups. You got backups who can start in this league. So, I mean, not many teams can say that.
I think our O-line should be filthy.
Yeah, I think we should be extremely good. And then, like I said, and you got guys that are playing behind guys that I believe can start in this league too. So, I mean, we'll see because it's all paper. It's all paper. It's all paper talk.
Yeah,
but they have to create pressure. Jonathan Gannon is the biggest question mark coming into the season. I rank him over Jalen Hurts. If I rank my biggest question mark, I can't believe I'm doing that, but I would actually rank the defense coordinator because at least I know Jalen has a skill set.
Yeah, last year I'm sorry, I was trying to figure it out. Last year we had, as a team, we had 29 sacks. I'm trying to figure out where that falls defensively. I don't think it's very good.
Well, I can help you.
No.
I can help you. You need to tag me in. Tag me in. That's bottom 10.
I would say top 10 in sacks.
Yeah, I mean, last year, takeaways.
If you went the other way with that, it would have been better, Greg.
Yeah. We had 16 total takeaways, 12 INTs to 4 fumbles,
Four fumbles. I don't understand how we can. I swear to God, we've probably recovered 14 fumbles in the last decade. No one fumbles against us. Everyone's got the greatest hands in the world against us. And I know this as well as me, but I swear to God, I've never missed a game in 30 years probably. We just don't cause fumbles. I watch other games, balls on the turf all the time.
That was 6 from the bottom.
Yeah,
well, we
didn't hit the quarterback enough last year. We didn't take away the ball enough last year. And we still had a pretty good, not good defense, but decent defense.
Wick, yeah, I would say it's his last year with the Birds, Jalen Reagor. I think that it might even be his last camp. He might not even get through camp, but I do think he gets through camp, just because they owe too much money to release him right now.
Yeah, I mean he's a bum. Let's be honest here. Everyone knows that he's a bum.
But we don't need him. So that's the greatest thing about it. It's like, hey, dude, collect your money for your list.
Then you think that you took him over probably the guy that's like the best receiver in football right now. It's like, that's good.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna listen. I can't stay bitter to it when, like, real quick, Wells. I gotta be fair here. I can't stay bitter to it anymore. When I went out and I addressed that position, when I went out and said, hey, I made a mistake. Hold on, mistakes happen. It's a bad mistake. Okay, I could have told you on draft night. I did tell you on draft night.
Back to back though. Like, who?
But listen, the positive side of it is you have a general manager who said, hey, obviously it was clear as day. I made a mistake. You go and draft Devontae Smith, and then you go out and sign a guy or trade for a guy like AJ Brown. You're admitting to failing in that position, and you went and addressed it. So I can't cry over spilled milk anymore because I have AJ Brown. Makes sense.
Give you that.
So now, now it's like
Absolutely.
I cried over spilled milk by the way, I cried over spilled milk since draft day. Okay, I've been spilled milk crying for a while here.
Milk's been spilled for fucking years.
I finally said, I'm gonna drink the milk now. I said I'm gonna sip on Howie's tea. All right, and I'm gonna milk Howie. Now I'm milking Howie, and I'm not spilling any of it.
But guess what? You're 100% right. And
Howie, I have nipples. Could you milk me?
Howie did a great job there, but Mr. And not your fault, and I'm not putting you on the spot. Mr. Gold Jacket has to go out and be a supreme number 2, and a lot of people don't think that. You know what I mean? I'm saying outside of Philly, and this is not that's not a shot at you. So don't think I'm like, oh, Mr. Gold Jacket, I'm taking a shot at you. That's just
No.
Well,
I if the suit fits.
Well,
If the gold jacket fits.
I mean,
I know.
that's the funniest thing Greg said in a year.
In this group, he said gold jacket.
I know he
Outside
did.
this group.
That's why. If you're referring to him as gold jacket, if so,
No,
fuck
but I
no.
know.
real quick disclaimer.
I don't want to make it a point like I was taking a shot at Tommy. I'm just saying nobody else besides this group and besides this area thinks he's that elite. And I'm just saying, that's just reality. And I hope, and I think he's fantastic. I'm saying, I'm hoping if AJ creates the attention he's supposed to get, that Devontae goes and does his thing and is an absolute superstar. That's all.
Well, listen, I think, I'm not going to run from what I think he is. I think he's one of the best route runners in football that nobody talks about or nobody knows about yet. And I just think he's that truly elite at it. And I'm hoping the same thing you're saying. I mean, listen, we watched a lot of young guys come in here in Philadelphia over the years and not produce year one. When I go back and look at his numbers, I'm like, okay, I'll take that. Would I like a little bit more? Sure. But I think that the more meat on the bone came from the quarterback more than him. But listen, it's hard to get that gold jacket if the guy doesn't get you to football either, right? Sure. But you're 100% spot on. When I projected my numbers the other night, I think, and it's not because I'm more of a Devontae guy than AJ Brown. AJ Brown's fabulous, makes sense. But I think because of the attention, I think Devontae has a bigger year than AJ just because of the attention. So this could be his coming out party.
Usually, I couldn't tell you how many really good receivers that were mediocre year one and explode year two. You know what I mean? Calvin Johnson comes to mind right off the bat. I mean, I'm not saying this guy's Calvin Johnson, obviously, but Calvin Johnson.
Just calm down.
Calvin Johnson had 850 as a rookie, and then he had 1,400 as second-year player. So a lot of guys. Chad Ochocinco. I remember a bunch of guys blew up.
Chad's a good comparison because of the body stature, the stature. Not I think the biggest guy in the world, just a great route runner.
Yeah, good route runner.
Great route runner. And that's what Devontae is. And listen, I say when I talk about Jalen, I don't overrate things that I hear in camp, but when I hear from all over on how elite he is running routes in practice and how nobody can keep up with him, that's a positive thing, right? I'm going to say, okay. And I hear from other teams, other corners, right, that praise him. I'm like, okay, I don't want to take too much of it. Might be his best friend praising him. You know what I mean? Get your bag, baby, when it's all over. But I do got to take some stock in saying, okay, we already know he can do it on the field because we watched it through his college career and we watched a little bit of it year one. So when you hear it coming into year two, well, to your point, this could be the big jump. I mean, this could be 1,200 and 8 to 10 touchdowns, and those numbers are number ones. I mean, they're number ones. I mean, this guy. This, like I said, this is the best tandem, obviously, in the division, and you can make a case. You can make a case that both these guys, right there. When you talk about CD and you talk about Terry, these guys are right there. AJ Brown's right in that conversation with those two guys, if not better than them, honestly.
For sure.
And Devontae has a chance. Now the problem is again the quarterback. CD is going to see 130 plus targets, right, because of what he has around him there. But I can see. I don't know how many targets Devontae got last year, but I would assume that's going to go up probably 20, 20, 25. And with targets come catches. And the other side of it is,
you're right.
Hey, Nick Sirianni.
And a lot of it, sorry, buddy. I'm done. A lot of it goes with the running game. You know what I mean? Can the Eagles run the football? And we know with Hurts that, that element is there. I get that. But, when you're talking about A.J. Brown, that's what the Titans were about. You know what I mean? The Titans were Derrick Henry, a little more sided Derrick Henry, more Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? And then if I want a little tasty poo of the passing game, here's Tanny Butt. Tanny Butt's finding A.J. Brown for a big play. You know what I mean? So it's nothing against A.J. Brown. It's nothing against Tanny Butt. It's nothing against Hurts. You know what I mean? That's a system. You know what I mean? So can A.J. Brown can he succeed in the Eagles system? I don't know that, and nobody knows that. And we're, as Eagle fans, you guys are hoping that that's, that you can stamp that and then go to bed. And I think you can because he is elite. But there's layers to that. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, the Titans were some, run and gun offense. They're not running.
Are you guys getting a lot of feedback?
I'm getting something.
Yeah, me too.
It wasn't, I'm sorry. It wasn't like the Titans or this Air Coryell, and they're just going to air it out. You know what I mean? Like
Air Coryell. Google it.
A lot of went into that Titans offense, and that's nothing against A.J. Brown. There's nothing against anything that was in that offense. It's different. You know what I mean? So, do I think he has a chip on his shoulder? Absolutely. Do I think he's ready to fucking put up monster numbers? Absolutely. So, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. I'm just saying he didn't come from some, run and gun offense where he was putting up all these numbers because they were airing it out. Derrick Henry set up A.J. Brown and Tanny Butt.
Ironically,
Yeah, and you would
Devontae
think that-
and A.J. had almost identical the amount of targets last year. A.J. Brown had 105, and Devontae had 104 targets last year.
Yeah, and both.
How many
and
games
both
played?
low, right?
Devontae played in all 17, and A.J. played in 13.
I was gonna say, I think A.J. Brown missed games.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was targeted.
What I will say is that, and Watkins takes the top off. You're right, Todd.
Philly Dilly. What up, Todd? Haven't seen you in a while, brother.
What up, Todd?
But I think some people are wrong. Like I don't think Devontae can't run the intermediate routes extremely well, and some of these other things that people are saying. But I also look at what A.J. Brown did in Tennessee. You can look at what he did there, and you can translate it to here. And the reason I say that is, Sweeps' point. Yeah, hey, did they have the best running back in football? No question about it. But we had the best running attack in football. So when you compare those two things, you put pressure on defenses to respect the run game, which then opens things up for these guys, especially the middle of the field, because AJ does do an extremely good job of working the middle, right, and yards after contact. When that's not really Devontae's thing. Devontae's thing is going to be plays in space. And I want people to understand this. He's a play in space type of guy, right? Type of cat. If you look back at the national championship game that he won and what he did before halftime in that football game, that's space, baby. You know what I mean? That's breaking dudes down. That's wide open, right? So to get wide open, you got to be an elite route runner when you're that wide open that much. So I think when you look at these two guys, you're looking at different guys too. And I think that's important too. And the bigger part that's more important than all of it is AJ and Jalen are obviously really good friends, right? That matters. We know Devontae and Jalen are. So when you're talking about the skill position players in your quarterback, when you got guys that are close like that, that also matters, man. Because we talk about it, you got to want to be around these guys. You want to be able to take those reps in the off season when nobody's, in shorts and a tee, when you go to Texas and you guys just play for fun. You know what I mean? Right? So you want to be able to want to be around guys. I think that stuff matters too. So listen, it's a big year for this football team. It's a big year for a lot of people. But for 1 year, I can go into the season saying, hey, my general manager put us in a position to be successful. Does the players come to play, and is this coaching staff good enough? Right? I mean, because listen, Nick had a great year and he adjusted. Right? That's one goddamn year. All right. So I need more. I like Nick Sirianni. Okay, he's grown on me, but I'm not going to go around crowning you and putting you in Canton because you were able to adjust. I think that's phenomenal. Not a lot of guys are willing to adjust. So that's a great asset and trait to have as a coach. The ability and willingness to say, all right, dude, we're not going to be able to throw the ball like we want to. We gotta go run down somebody's throat. And that's hard to change. That's a philosophy change, right, boys? That's a philosophy change on what you want to do and what you have to do. I like that. But he's got to go out and prove it again. This isn't a 1 year thing, and he didn't prove anything besides sneaking in the playoffs for a first year guy that nobody expected you to. That's a tremendous job too. So I don't want to take it away. Umberto, no, you're not crazy. Sorry, you just took me off my point right now. We're absolutely a top 5 wide receiving core. Absolutely. When you talk about our entire core, yeah. I mean, I got to circle. I got to circle the block. But I would say
top 5. I'd say we have the ability to be a top 5 wide receiving core.
Allen Robinson, Cooper Kupp in with the Rams, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
pretty good one.
We got Godwin Evans, obviously, down there.
I mean, the Tampa Bay receiving core is pretty good.
You should always
Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. You should always go top 3. So,
like,
where are the Eagles? Where are the Eagles' top 3? You know, like to Wilson's point. You know what I mean? And to Tommy's.
I would say Minnesota's pretty good. Jefferson, Thielen,
Miami.
They just lost the guy.
Miami had.
Yeah, Miami's pretty good. Number 3 for Minnesota just tore his ACL though, which sucks for them.
I don't know. We're right there. How about this? Umberto? We're right there.
I would say that we definitely have the ability
absolutely.
to be a top 5 receiving core for sure.
That's what I'm saying. You're right, 100%. Everybody thinks that Quez is going to have a good year, and he very well might. I mean, but he still has to do it. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's, all teams have question marks. You know what I mean? And the Eagles are no different. You know what I mean? Like you're just not going to anoint them just because you guys are Eagle fans. You guys are obviously football fans, and you guys are smart, and that's why we get along. If I didn't think that, I'd be like, you guys are jerk offs, and I don't know why I'm on this show. But you guys absolutely spit it out, realistically, and we talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, if Quez Watkins does what, we think he could do, and he has potential to do, then the Eagles wide receiving core is fantastic. All right? But if he's just Quez Watkins from, so he's going to give you, every 4 weeks, he's going to give you a fucking 55-yarder. Okay. What are you going to do with that? Stick that in your fucking pipe and smoke it. That's not going to do anything. You know what I mean? Like,
there's Hank Basket. Yeah,
exactly. He has to do other. He has to
get some Kendra Wilkinson.
Get some Kendra. Oh, give
exactly.
some Hank Basket.
You have to smile on right now. Nice.
I would love some Kendra. I'll sign up.
Great name drop, Wilson. You have to right now has a heart on under his robe. But that's what I'm saying. If Quez is, we talked about what Devontae's able to do. Like, if Devontae doesn't do anything, that means Quez pretty much didn't do anything.
WNBA
And the wide receivers core is fucking pedestrian, like it's been for a long time. So, if AJ Brown is able to do his thing, and it trickles down, it's like a domino effect. If AJ Brown is able to do his thing, and Devontae is able to do his thing, and Quez is able to do his thing, Eagles wide receiver cores, yeah, of course they're right there in the top 5. But if not, and I'm not saying like I'm not being Captain Obvious. I'm just saying, we have to talk about it like you want to talk it into existence. But if you're just talking about realistically, where would you rank the Eagles without Quez? If you were just saying AJ Brown and Devontae, okay, you two guys who I respect as Eagle fans and football guys, go ahead.
Like, where's our receiving core with just AJ Brown and Devontae?
Yeah. Like, forget about Quez.
I think they are.
Quez is the X factor. Talk about those two guys. Where would you rank those guys with those two guys?
I think we're like top 6 to 8 in the league.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, because you're right. I mean, you're right. Because let's just say you got Tampa Bay, you got Minnesota, as you mentioned.
Yeah,
you got
Probably put Miami up above us. I
Miami's
would probably
definitely
put
Miami's there. Well, just even in the conversation, right? Las Vegas is there. The Rams are there.
maybe the Chargers.
Chargers are there. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, would absolutely put them there.
They might be number one.
They might be top. Yeah.
Yep.
Denver's got to be in the conversation.
Seattle's not bad.
Yep.
Seattle's not bad. They just don't have a quarterback.
Seattle
right?
quarterback is Geno Smith, but
Lockett and Metcalf are pretty
Tommy,
good.
Get your arm warm. Oh, Tommy, maybe Tommy heard Geno's a quarterback, and he's heading up to Tacoma right now.
I agree.
Did you hear what Derwin James was talking about Renfro? Speaking of Vegas,
I think
I love Hunter Renfro.
Boy, I think Tommy's boy takes a monster step with Rusty Nail.
Who, Jerry Jude?
Yep, Jerry Jude is a monster in fucking Denver. That's the way I look at it.
Courtwood
I hope you're right,
too.
because I'm going to keep him in my keeper league. So I hope you're correct, sir. I got to put my keepers in tomorrow for my one leg. And which I still don't know. I still don't know what the fuck we're doing. Well, I haven't really heard much from my commissioner, but a guy in our league died, and he was our champion.
Jesus.
Yeah, fucking A, right?
Yeah,
fucking A. Greg knew him, I think, right?
Yeah, I did know Dan. Yeah,
yeah, crazy, right?
Yeah.
Damn. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, fucking crazy.
It was right after the league too.
It happened like late February, I think.
Yeah,
maybe?
it was like right after the season.
Early March. I don't know.
But no, it's funny. Derwin James was on the podcast with like Fred Taylor and whatever that one, and he was talking about like wide receivers, and he brought up Renfro and how he went. They were like, you went from Tyreek Hill to Renfro in the same breath, and Derwin James was like, put on the tape. Hunter Renfro is a dude just because of what he can do and how he impacts a game. And they were like laughing at him. Derwin James is straight face, like, just go ahead and put on the tape and watch him. I'm like, okay.
Awesome. And that's what we always talk about. We always talk about whatever sport we're talking about. We're talking about the eye test. We're not talking about fucking nerds.
That's why I love Taysom Hill.
We're not talking about nerds. We're
just watch a game.
We're not talking about metrics. We're not talking about all that bullshit. We're talking about eye tests. All right? If the fucking guy is open like fucking 7-Eleven all the time, then fucking get him the football. And that's it. And like I said, Renfro falls in that category. It's a fucking joke that, and I'm not saying he's like, top 5 receiver. I'm just saying, like, as a secondary guy. As Devontae Adams Batman, give me Hunter Renfro. Absolutely. 100%.
Great hands. But guess what? Anyone that watches football, like we watch football, will tell you saw it at Clemson. Okay? You saw it at Clemson. At Clemson, you said, this dude can play football.
Yep.
I don't care about anything else. This dude can play football.
It is funny, though. That
he was the third or
fourth
guy there.
Dude, you remember? I can rattle off guys to you that, I mean, I know you, Sweeps and Tommy A, and I'm sure Greg, because we all love college football, would all agree. But like guys that you saw in college, you're like, this dude can play football, and maybe they drop in a draft because they don't run a great 40 or whatever, and guess what? They end up being really good pros because you're like, yeah, I mean, we saw that in college. You can play football. I don't care. I don't care how fast he is on the track. Okay, when they put the pads on, dude fucking makes plays.
Yeah,
Elvis Doomerville. Elvis Doomerville was the guy
against Alabama, who Alabama has 10 guys every year on defense that play in the NFL. Against Alabama, he was the dude. You know what I mean? Like, we're not talking about T. Higgins. We're not talking about DeAndre Hopkins. We're not talking about those guys that went to Clemson. We're talking about Hunter Renfro at Clemson that was absolutely open all the time and was probably the MVP of those championship teams.
Couple big catches.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
Couple big catches.
By the way, love me some
jerked off.
Love me some Hunter Renfro, by the way.
Yeah, love Hunter Renfro.
Was getting jerked off at halftime, and Renfro was making plays.
Yeah, Mike Williams was on that team too, I think, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, like,
just don't put Hunter in charge of the. Just don't put
guys.
Hunter in charge of the Ubers.
What's his name dropped in the draft, and everyone was like, dude, this dude's gonna be a stud. Fucking DN. Who played DN for the Ravens? I smoke too much weed. I can't think of anything. Arizona State.
Terrell Suggs.
Terrell Suggs dropped the draft. Oh, he's kind of slow. Yeah, kind of slow. What? 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, Hall of Famer. Kind of slow. Yeah, it's kind of slow.
Anthony, I will.
18 sacks. He's kind of slow.
I'll go 65% Jalen, 45% Dillard. Anthony.
110% we're throwing out there, huh?
I see. Okay, what are the chances Jalen and Dillard being traded?
Yeah, listen, I think if you and listen, people can put me on a goddamn island. I know Jeff McClain just reported that, the Eagles are, in the next 48 hours are taking a lot of calls over Dillard and Jalen Reagor. Fine.
You better not trade him to the fucking Cowboys.
Listen, I'll just say this.
I'll say that.
I won't even go that far. I'm just saying when you know what you need to win in this league, I would not go around trading left tackles. I'm just not in the business of doing it. Like, I'm a left tackle away from my season falling apart. At least, at minimum, I know Andre Dillard can step in and at least compete at this level. I've seen him compete at this level. So I'm not telling you he's as good as Mulata. No, I'm not telling you he's a great left tackle. I'm telling you he's a serviceable one, and I wouldn't be in the position of dealing that guy. You want to trade Jalen Reagor? Be my guest. Okay, I have enough wide receivers.
Yep.
All right. But I'm not, and I know I'm in the minority on this. I'm not trading Andre Dillard to anybody. I'm just not. I'm not doing it. Now, there's a way you can make me do it. Of course, there's always a way you can.
You can make me do it. Throw a first-round pick my way.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why I said. That's why I went 45. I'm like, if you throw a first rounder at me, I'm like, all right, maybe I'll do it.
I'm not even there. I'm at like 10%. Like, I want no parts of trading linemen. Not right before a season kicks off. Not with a Jordan Mulata, God forbid, injury away from my season and my offensive line.
Not to the Cowboys.
No, not to anybody. Wilson, I'm not trying to give you a left tackle.
I'm just saying I'm definitely not saying to the Cowboys.
There's a reason throughout this league over the last 2 decades, right? Left tackles get paid QB money. There's a reason for it. So knowing that reason and knowing the amount of assets you've spent, right, on your offensive line throughout the last few years, Howie Roseman, to revamp this offensive line, you'd be nuts to trade him. You just, that's asinine to me. Like, I don't know why you would. Because again, Mulata goes down, God forbid, and you don't have Dillard there. Lane Johnson goes down every year. You know what? That's the bigger part. Lane Johnson misses games every year. I love Lane. Okay, but let's keep it 100. He misses games every year. I would much rather be able to slide Mulata over, who's proven he can play the right side, and start Dillard than have to do what? Then what? Because then what are you doing? Because that's coming. That's in taxes. That's taxes and Lane Johnson missing 2 or 3 games. So I don't move to Andre Dillard.
I got no issues. Well, whoever we plug and play, he'll play well. We're good with O-line. I'll give it to him. That's one thing I'll give him.
Just that one.
Great coach. Jeff Allen, great coach.
But Pop, why? I mean, a second's great value, sure, for a guy like Andre Dillard, but that's a guy who started in this league. Okay, Umberto, yes. For a guy like Kareem Hunt, sure. A proven player, sure. I'll take that one on. That's one where you tell me absolutely, right? But for a second round pick, no. A second round pick, no.
And we talked about that last Sunday. Wilson was just starting his vacation, but he can chime in. If the Eagles got fucking Kareem Hunt, that's when I said,
I mean,
they're the NFC favorites.
First off,
NFC favorites.
Kareem Hunt can run. If we get Kareem Hunt, then Miles Sanders can just whatever. I don't give a fuck about Miles Sanders because Kareem Hunt behind this O line goes for 1,500. Yes. 1,500. Oh hey. As long as he ain't kicking girls, we good. We talked about it last Sunday. And Tommy said, "Hey, the Eagles might be linked to the Kareem Hunt, with the playoff thing. With the practice thing, and there were some rumors." And I said to these boys, if the Eagles get Kareem Hunt, they're the favorites in the NFC. NFC, not the NFC East, the NFC. I mean, I could see that. Because I still think that Miles Sanders is a question mark.
It sure is.
Captain Obvious. Not taking a shot at you. Not taking a shot at you. Just like, I mean, that's the easiest question. One of the easier question marks going into the season is player-wise, Greg, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a guy just, he has injury concerns, and then also he hasn't been around all preseason because of a hammy.
No, I'll say what it is.
I mean, he's always hurt.
Greg, he's a kitty cat, right? He Miles Sanders doesn't like it, and this is why he attacks A2D at times, because he don't like the takes. He don't like the honesty, right? Because he'll tell you didn't play football. Well, newsflash, I did, and I'm not telling you I played college or pro, but I played enough football to know when a guy's a kitty cat. I've watched enough football to know when a guy's a kitty cat. There's like I watched enough basketball to know when Benjamin was a kitty, right? We know when we smell a little. Look, come here, puss. So, I mean, listen, if the guy's healthy, can he be an explosive playmaker for this team? Sure. I'm not going to say he can't, but I'm also going to say
he is an explosive player.
When you're not on the field, you don't do me any good. Now, listen, Umberto, I know he said about Driscoll. Driscoll was solid at right tackle. I get it because you are so deep there. But I would trust Dillard a little bit more than Driscoll, to be honest with you. But that's just me. I'm not saying Jack can't play, but he's also had injury issues, right? Dillard really hasn't had any. So listen, if it's for the right freaking guy, if it's for the right guy, pull the trigger. Kareem Hunt, you don't even gotta. As soon as you bring up like, hey, you want to trade Dillard for, yeah, we're in, right? You don't even got to get the rest of his name out because we're in. We'll drive him there, right? There's certain guys I'll drive Dillard there, but when you talk about second round picks, now you want to give me a first? Sure, from the right team, like a team that's in, you want to have 3 firsts next year? Sure.
Like the Bears?
Yeah. No, or Roquan Smith. Like, I don't even want the first. Give me Roquan Smith.
Ooh.
You want to get cute? You need a left tackle so bad that guy don't want to be there anymore. So give me Roquan Smith. I'll figure it out. A linebacker, whatever. You know what I mean? I'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We'll make it work.
I'll get 3 guys on the field all day. Roquan, Kaiser, and Nakobe be on the field all day. So I don't even care if it's the wrong positions or guys out of positions. Don't make plays. We're good. We got instinct football players. So there's ways I'll do it, but I would much rather do it, boys, if it's not for the first.
Start Roquan at safety. Okay.
Like, you're just not going to.
I bet you he'd be a good safety.
Doing a good job on the back end.
Roquan Smith's a fucking monster, dude.
To be honest with you, if we had those 3 guys and the 2 corners we have, 3 corners accounting Avante, I think a combination of us 2 could play safety and we'd be okay. You know what I mean?
I'm out. I'll take myself out.
I sort of wanted to take you out. I was really looking. I
would remove myself as well. I'm not a safety.
I've seen.
I think I made a couple plays,
but I could make a play or 2. I think I made a couple plays in the sand last week that made me having some thoughts. And then I face planted on one, and I was like, yeah, this is why I can't. That's why I'm too old to
I'm a disgusting mess, but I'll put myself in the fucking strong safety spot.
hey, I'm not going to tell you that I'm over here running 4.4s. But I got no problem playing free safety next to you, brother. So let's go to work. I guarantee I take away 2. I might not want to tackle many guys in the open field at this point in my life.
We'd be having shows about you guys being question marks. Well, we got 2 big question marks in the back end.
I'm not even mad at that comment. Hey, I'm not even mad at that. Cheers.
Yeah, Paul. There could be some running backs released.
I'd be the most likely to be drunk at free safety.
I'll tell you. I don't think Sweeps needs even to answer this question, Umberto. I'll tell him for you, because the one guy you can tell doesn't have the arm strength to push it. Jalen's shown he can stretch it. Like, he's shown he can throw the football, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like Jalen has a push on. Tua. And I know this was sweet. Tua's got a push on.
I'll tell you what, Tua showed me a few things last year. Like running though, that made me say, okay, Tua's not a pussy. I still don't think he can throw the ball, but he's not a pussy. I'll give him that.
No, I like Tua. Tua's a great kid. He's another guy like Jalen. You want to root for him. Makes sense. He's a rootable guy because he is a good dude and a good kid. But listen, again, you don't have to have the exit velo. You just got to be on time. because with what he has, if he's just on time, he's going to be successful because he is very accurate. I'll give him that. He is very accurate.
No, but he had 2 years to show that. Like Umberto, love the question, brother. And I'm going to tell you, even as a Dolphin fan, I mean, I'm not a homer. Hurts is better than Tua. That's just the bottom line. And it goes, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. Because their Dolphins are so desperate and so fucking panicked. They're so panic-stricken to win this year and to win in the next 2 years that they're draping this guy with as much talent as they can because they're hoping that his 5-yard bubble screens will work. You know what I mean? And when I think Hurts can win, and I think Hurts is better with less than Tua. That's always going to be my fucking opinion. And I appreciate the question. And it doesn't matter. I don't give a shit about college. I don't care about what the fuck happened in Alabama. I'm telling you about now. I think Hurts can win with less. And the Dolphins are showing you that the only way that they might be able to win is if they surround Tua with goddamn fucking an all-star team.
Well, I'll tell you this, Sweeps. It's not an excuse for the guy. I don't know how good he was going to be anyway, but when you're missing a hip per se, it takes away some things too.
I know.
So
and that's what I said on draft day, brother.
Yeah,
I'm glad you brought that up because it wasn't about just being a hater. It was about he's left-handed. History shows me the left-handed guys suck, but that's okay. Let's just take that away. All right.
Count that one.
History shows me the left-handed quarterbacks suck. Second of all, when you're made of duct tape, I got no time for you.
Yeah, two major injuries in college. Like two,
exactly.
Not one.
So the fact that Herbert could have fell in your lap, you guys are jerk-offs. That's it. It doesn't matter.
Imagine Herbert with the Dolphins.
It doesn't matter that we all maybe we all didn't like Herbert. Nobody's saying to anybody on here. I'm not even saying that. I would never say that. I'm not a jerk off. I'm the most honest guy. One of the most honest guys that we have on A2D.
I like Herbert, but he came up small in big games in Oregon.
Exactly.
A lot of them.
Wilson,
a lot of them. He just did.
Wilson,
fact.
That's what
we always said we love his tools. But he came up small in big games.
I'm with you, brother.
Granny hasn't made the playoffs yet in the NFL either. Small big games.
Brother. No, you're spot on. I'm one of the most honest guys that we have at A2D Radio. And I'm not saying there's not a shot at anybody. I didn't know what Herbert was going to be because of exactly what you said. He didn't show me, besides the big arm, he didn't show me anything in Oregon. All right? Winter-wise, you were a failure in Oregon.
Yeah, right? I like guys
but
that
if you
win.
asked me the two, and I told you guys that on draft night, of the two, of course I'm taking Herbert, all right? Because of the prototype and the fact that Tua is fucking put together with fucking duct tape. For me, it was a no-brainer, all right? And the fact that it worked out that way, maybe worked out that way so far. Let's see if Tua decides with the weapons or whatever, and he decides to stay healthy, and maybe he takes another turn. I don't ever think that. I'm still always going to be, whether it's after the fact or not, I'm always going to be the guy that says, "Hey, Herbert's better."
Listen, it's not after the fact when. And
I didn't want to on draft night, so that's why I'm not an after the fact guy.
Yeah. Paul says Eagles could trade wide receiver Jalen Reagor and linebacker Davion Taylor to the Bears for safety Eddie Jackson. Did you read that somewhere, Paul? Because if that's
that just seems like I don't. There's not like a whole lot of trades that happen with multiple players in the NFL. Like I highly doubt that would happen, Paul. I mean, if it did, I would accept it. But
I tell you, I love Eddie. I definitely love Eddie Jackson years ago. I don't know about now.
Yeah, I'll still trade those two guys for him though, for sure.
Sure.
From what I have back there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what I have on the outside already to sort of help that. And listen, there could be backs released too, Paul. And I think that's why, one of the reasons why we sort of just sat around here, because I don't, we're going to find out in the next week if they think Miles is going to be healthy week 1, and we're going to find out if they believe a guy like Justin Huntley is going to be on this roster. Makes sense. So we're gonna find out, because right now you're going with Kenny and you're going with Boston Scott. So I mean, it's not great coming into a year. That's not exciting.
Hey, Scott.
But
Guess what? I'm okay with Kenny and Scott at the moment.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, it's
Kenny
okay.
and Scott run right over Detroit. Hey, Hard Knocks was cute. See ya.
Yeah, I just think I don't even have a question mark. Like I would just if Sony Michel got released, I'm interested. Right.
I'm interested in Miles Gaskin if he gets released. I'm interested
I'm more
in
Gaskin than Michelle.
I'm interested in who the fuck I saw.
I think I have enough speed.
Darrell Williams might get released, and I'm interested in Darrell Williams if he gets released.
I'm just saying Sony Michel's more of the power back, Greg.
Yeah, so is Darrell Williams.
True.
No. I'm talking about either between Gaskin and Sony Michel. I'm saying I'd rather have Sony just because I feel like I have enough guys who can go house. Not that you ever have enough guys, but like I almost need that change of pace back somewhere.
True. Yeah.
I don't have that on this roster, and I don't need a guy like Jordan Howard running. I just need a guy that's a little slower. So when my fast guys hit the hole, linebackers are like, oh shit, bad angle, and that's where you get house calls. Bad angle is how you get house calls in this league. And that's
I agree with you.
That's how you get big bucks.
No, you're right.
Big bucks.
Sony Michel needs like tractor trailer holes. I mean, like.
Welcome.
No. Eagles have a great offensive line, so maybe that's the case. I'm just saying, like, if you're talking about the two, like, Miles Gaskin can bounce it a little bit. Sony Michel, excuse me, is a north-south guy that's hit the hole.
I love Sony Michel at Georgia too.
It has to be a monster.
Yeah, he's really good.
I thought he was going to be really good in the NFL. He just hasn't been.
Speaking of Hard Knocks, though, you listen to Deuce yell at DeAndre Swift. Can you imagine what imagine what he was saying to Miles his whole career?
Yep, I agree with you, Greg.
About sticking your foot in the ground and getting upfield instead of trying to bounce everything.
And great point, Greg. Great point. We love Deuce. We've always, all four of you guys, all three of you guys and myself, love Deuce. And it's amazing what that brought to the, we know it's been there the whole time, but it's amazing what Hard Knocks and with seeing things. It doesn't make things, it doesn't change things on the field. It just solidifies what we knew the whole time. Like
what we thought,
we've loved Deuce the whole time, and Deuce is associated head coach, and Deuce is awesome. And the fact that he's such a fucking realist, and he's fucking challenging Swift on a daily basis is awesome. And
who else did he challenge on a daily basis?
I'm just saying.
Oh no, for Eagles fans.
No.
For Eagles fans, let's circle the fucking wagons here for a minute, all right? And let's tell people what I tried to tell people, X amount of years ago when Miles was not on.
That's where I started it.
Yeah, when Miles wasn't on the field, and I know that's where he started. Circling back, right? You know what I mean? I'm getting off my chest. We're gonna be repetitive in a 2-hour show. So
my bad.
Get off my chest. I used to yell and scream like.
Testicles.
Do you see him yelling at Miles Sanders on the sideline? Do you see him getting on him? So there's a reason why he's saying, you know what, Boston, get out there. Or whoever else the other running back was at the time, get out there. Because this guy isn't doing what he's supposed to do. And that's accountability. But everybody saw, the home run ability of Miles Sanders, and all the freaking jerk-offs want to tell me RB1, which I think I hate the RB1s or QB1.
I hate that shit.
I hate it. He's your lead back. He's your lead back or he's your first running back. He's number one back. There's a lot of other phrases. RB1 tells me you're on a computer. All right. RB1, computer analytic fucking dork. Okay. Nerd, right, Wells? But this guy couldn't handle it.
I don't like any of that shit though at all.
So, everybody used to blame Doug. No, Deuce had head control over or full control over what running backs were used when. And he told us this guy's a kitty cat. He said, hey, kitty, 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 kitty. And guess what? Miles decided to start pissing on the floor. He didn't even go to the kitty litter anymore. He just started pissing on the fucking floor because he's a loser. He's a loser. I lost all respect for that guy. If you can't handle the heat in this city, I'll personally be the one to expose you. I'll personally be the one to run you out of town. I said from day one and A2 day, it's going to be for the fan, by the fan. So if you're going to be a little Mr. Softy, right, okay, and you want to drive around playing your music, well, if your ice cream sucks, somebody's got to tell you. All right, somebody's got to be saying, you know what? You're not what was advertised. Right? I didn't get what was advertised here. And for Miles Sanders, I did not get, or this fan base get what was advertised. And it's not just because of injuries. It's because of the lack of holding on to the football. Right? And people say, well, he only has X amount of lost fumbles. Okay? Jerk me off. All right? Go stop jerking me off. My eyes have told me for since he started playing how this guy puts the ball on the turf in key spots. I'm so sick and tired of Miles Sanders. You know, and another one wants to talk back, right? Like, you know what, dude? You haven't been good enough to come on A2D platforms and try to talk down to us. You have not been good enough. You don't have a leg to stand on, literally and figuratively. You don't have one. So don't come here and cry and say, well, you guys don't never played enough. Listen, this is what I do. All right, this is what I do for a living. It's sports 24/7. And not a lot of people can say that. It's what I do. All right, I'm not telling you I'm better than anybody, but I'm telling you, Miles, I'm better than you. I know you better than you know yourself. You should go look in the mirror, and I want full frontal. You know what I mean? Look in the mirror and tell me if you see something laying down there. So, is something hanging? Is something hanging? Because if you ain't got nothing hanging,
Full frontaled him.
Get the fuck out of my huddle. You understand? I told Flacco this too. I'm telling you the same thing. Get out of my huddle. All right? I got no time for on the football field. All right? I told the Super Bowl MVP to get out of my huddle. So you think I ain't going to tell you? And that's real talk. Ask around. So
check your pulse.
Check your pulse, Joey. If that shit ain't beat, get out of my huddle. All right? We're trying to win football games here. All right, I'm so sick and tired of it. You show up saying, oh, you didn't play. Yeah, I did. The other guys play. I'm not telling you every guy played. Just because you play or doesn't play doesn't mean you don't know the game. So miss me with you have to play to know something. Some of the best coaches ever are guys who didn't play at a high level. All right, so you can excuse me with
some
that.
Of the worst coaches ever are guys that played at a high level.
Yep. So it doesn't always work that way. But what I don't like is when you had a bad year, Greg, you tell everybody that you had a bad year by commenting, by having something to say to protect your name. Like you don't know the grind.
Yeah.
Well, they don't know the grind. You know, I'll grind all day for that paycheck, and millions of other Americans would too.
Guess what? In about 10 hours, I'll be loading the truck. And I would love to switch. You want to switch? Would love to.
Well, devil's advocate is, okay, yeah, we know we don't have the talent to play at that level. That's why we're not there.
Yeah, of course.
But there's other guys. There's other guys equally as talented as Miles Sanders floating around the world at the running back position. If you talk about there's 100 running backs in the world, right?
I would even say that
are NFL worthy.
Is very talented, but he hasn't played up to his talent level.
Well, my point is there's somebody out there that's just can be just as good. Like you're not even a top 10 back in football. You're not even a top 15. You're not even a top 20 back in football. So who are you?
I would say you haven't reached your potential.
Who are you to talk about the grind? The grind to what? Underachieving? Because that grind's easy. The underachieving grind's the easiest grind in America. I tell my kids that it's easy to underachieve. It's hard to be successful, man.
You just look around, a lot of it in America.
Underachieving at everything. I order Grubhub, underachieve.
Everyone sucks. Yeah.
You go to a store, you
sucks.
Underachieve. That's the easy thing.
Everyone sucks at their job. They're all sorry. They can't help you. They're sorry though.
I tell my kids,
sorry, I can't help you. I'm sorry.
I know what Tom's saying. I know what Wilson's saying, and I know Greg agrees. I tell my kids all the time, the easiest thing to be is a 30 for 30. And I think I've said it on this show before. The easiest thing to be is a 30 for 30. The hard thing to do is to go through the grind and to go through the failure and to go through, the difficulties and the adversity that all that sports brings you. You know what I mean? Like the easiest thing to do is to say, oh, I could have been. And we all know this guy. We all know this guy. You don't have to say who it is. We all know this. We all have a buddy. We all know this. We all know this guy. We all know this guy that we drink with, and he tells me, and he was all this, and he was all that, and it was like I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do this. I didn't fuck school, fuck pro ball. You know what I mean? And that's the easiest thing to do. The easiest thing to do is be the 30 for 30. It's hard to be a failure. You know what I mean? And the four majors, they're so hard. They're very hard to be successful in the four majors. All right. So if you can fail, even if you fail in those four majors, you're a success in my eyes. You know what I mean? It doesn't. I'm not talking about Steve Jeltz being a Hall of Famer. I'm talking about Steve Jeltz played at the major league level, and we know he sucked. And I'm not advocating for Steve Jeltz, but at least Steve Jeltz fucking showed up every day, and Steve Jeltz fucking, he gave it his best. And you know what? Steve Jeltz sucked. But there's a lot of guys that fucking don't even get to the fucking dance because they're cowards. You know what I mean? And that's what pro sports is to me. Like, listen, you get to the dance, and if you fail and you acknowledge it, we all respect that. All right, it's the guys that think that they got cheated, guys that think they never got a shot, or whatever it is. And, no, I was in the wrong spot at the wrong time, and I'm gonna let you know about it at the local fucking watering hole. Nobody gives a fuck, bro. Nobody gives a fuck about those guys. You know what I mean? Like, you might be legends in all the, in all the eyes of the people that fucking worship you, but you're really, at the end of the day, you're nobody. So my point of my statement is, hey, listen, man, we all fucking fail. We all struggle. As long as you put your best foot forward, and listen, you're going to get it chopped off. Most of the time, you're going to get it chopped off. It's the guys that don't fucking try. You know what I mean? And that's all we say about our pro athletes. Or we ask of our pro athletes, give us everything you got. You know what I mean? Go through the fucking grind that we expect ourselves to go through, and we'll fucking respect you. If not, we're gonna call you a pussy. We're gonna call you a coward. We're gonna call you all these fucking names. Not because you're making money, because you're not doing anything that we expect ourselves to do.
You're there. Work hard. It's all work hard
Joes.
at that point. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's work hard. That's all. If you're a hard worker in this city, even if win or lose, all the fans will always love and respect you. That's just bottom line.
Absolutely, brother.
I'd rather have Ezekiel Elliott than Miles Sanders. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, listen, guys, there's going to be some good
By the way,
bets
I'm
out
watching 2010 NBA Finals Game 7 on NBA Network right now. 56-51 Celtics at Lakers. I wish I could live bet the Lakers.
I was going to say, I know who wins.
Would love a live bet. I think Kobe has a big big fourth quarter. First off, it's 56-51 with 2.5 up in the third. Not a lot of scoring in this one. The under was a safe bet.
Paul, I do like Madison from the Vikings. I don't think they would be getting rid of him though, just based on the Devontae Cook. Dalvin Cook always getting hurt. It seems like, so I don't know if they'd be.
Yeah, and Alexander Madison's a pretty good player.
But BW Ball Hines out of Indy is nice. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a connection there too, right? So, that would be a name where I could see.
I fucking love Nyheim Hines. Is he available?
He's
a great receiving back.
That could be something because of the relationship with Sirianni and Steichen that you could see a Hines here. So that's a good one. Listen, I just think guys like no matter who the back is, like Umberto, running back could be a big need for the Eagles sooner than we think, fellas. I agree with you to a point.
I think we need one right now.
So, I agree with guys to a point. Like,
soon, 1 second.
Yeah, I'm just on the other side. When I have a quarterback that runs like this and an offensive line, like I don't want to say plug and play, but you're not getting a big like there's guys you can get that are obviously better than what you have, and I'm all up for upgrades, right?
I do think that Boston Scott is good though as your 3.
But if they ran into the year with this group, guys are gonna have some big plays. I mean, this offensive line's too good for you not to, and you have a running quarterback. So that's why I haven't been like pounding the table for a running back. But listen, it would be nice. Like if a Kareem Hunt deal is on the table.
Yeah, I would love a Kareem Hunt deal.
I don't know how you're not all in, but listen, we don't know what's really on the table.
And honestly, like we're throwing a lot of names out there, but I'm really not trying to pick up a guy that's just a guy. If you want to go get me a Kareem Hunt, a guy that's better than Miles Sanders, then yeah, I'm on board. But like I'm okay.
But I agree.
I'm
just to pick up a guy.
Yeah, I'm okay with not like I'm okay with Boston.
Let's roll with
Scott.
what we have.
Yeah, I'm okay with Boston Scott, and I'm okay with Kenny Gainwell.
Well, I want to find out what Kenny Gainwell is too, right? I mean, this is the guy
I like Kenny Gainwell.
Yeah, this is the guy I used to pick. Memphis is known for running backs.
And Tommy, you might not know.
I think Kenny Gainwell might be our best back.
Exactly. And you don't know that. And not to you. It's to Tommy's point as well. You know what I mean? Like, I think all 4 of us like Gainwell. You know what I mean? But if you have a shot to get fucking Hunt and it's reasonable, you go for it.
Fuck yes.
I think Howie's shown that. Like, that might be the final piece. If Jalen is who everybody else thinks he is, and guys on this panel who are realists hope that he is, then Hunt is your final piece.
All right, you guys want to have some fun for a minute, then we'll talk some quick fills and do our crumbs and get out of here.
Yeah,
all right, I want to. So Greg gave us the list of the top 6 teams in the NFC, right? Okay, I want you to disregard the top 8 for this little fun exercise. Okay, give me 2 sleeper teams that you could see playing in the NFC title game, because it's possible, right? It's always possible that happens. Not both, obviously, just like one of the 2 we all pick, right? You know what I mean? That you think is that sleeper team that could be playing in an NFC title game. I'll give you mine. If you want me to lead off?
I know who yours is gonna be.
Oh yeah, it's all set up here.
I can say it out loud.
I got a quick agenda.
Redskins, Saints for me. Good.
Redskins, Commanders, Saints. I was going to put a typo in for the people.
I would never say Commanders.
I know.
I love you guys, and if it becomes a 3-man show, God bless you. It's fucking Redskins, and it might be Saints. Sorry.
No, I was going to put a disclaimer up on the bottom saying that drunk sweeps drunk sweeps means when he says Redskins, he means Commanders.
Yes. Same thing if we start talking baseball, it says Indians, it means Guardians.
Yep. Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down out there. They're 2 good ones. Sweeps, they're 2 good ones. I'll say
where's Daddy? Come on for the kid. Daddy's coming.
I like the Washington side of things, but I don't want to go the same. But there's not many teams left.
Well, we're going to have to double up on probably a couple of them.
I thought you were going to go with your boy.
Oh, I'm going.
He's going. Oh, he's going.
Give it time. Well, listen, I'll just start with them as I think.
It might not be his first choice.
Yeah, I'll just start with them while I'm thinking about the other one. But listen, when you talk about a roster, they're a very good roster, though. I mean, we talked about that last year going in the year with Darnold. Like, man.
Well, CMC's healthy. That's big
for
thing,
now.
So, like, we're just talking about wide receivers. We're talking about running back. We're talking about the defense side of the football. They got playmakers over there. That's like a well put together roster. That's a little sleeperish. And again, it's last chance you again, right? We're circling. We talk about Carson. Yeah, we talk about Carson. I'm gonna bring Baker in that same conversation. This might be the last chance.
Matt Rule in that conversation too.
Matt Rule, like Baker, like you did take a team to the playoffs. You were hurt last year. You weren't good enough, right? Who are you? Are you a guy that can be a franchise quarterback, or are you just a guy? So time's yours there too. And I'm not picking him because of him. I'm picking him because I think they have somebody better than Sam Darnold. And I think that's clear and evident just by the 2 playing. He's better than Darnold. So he gives you a better chance to win throwing the football than Sam Darnold does. That's just factual. And they have the playmakers to be able to do it. So listen, you're going to turn the ball over a bunch? I don't know. But I think playing in an area and in a stadium that isn't Cleveland and isn't freezing, I think benefits a guy like Baker Mayfield. Not that Carolina is going to be scorching hot, but you guys know what I mean by that kind of stuff. Like, I think not playing in the freezing cold helps a guy and always wet. Like, Cleveland's always wet. Every game I watch is always wet. Like, I feel like I need a guy to, like, big masseuse hands, per se, that really grip a ball over there. All right? But
funny you bring that up.
But their defense is really good. Really good. Their secondary is extremely good.
Watson's waiting for your open hands theory.
I'm right with Sleep. So I said this before. Washington worries me because it's another last chance you guy, and even more of a last chance you. Like Baker might even get another chance if he's not successful there. This guy,
I think Carson's done, dude.
That's it.
He's done. He officially is done. I don't know what happened. Like, he got hurt a couple times in a row, started seeing ghosts. He's just done. He's not the guy he was in 2017. Just not. He's just done.
Doesn't have to be the guy that he was in 2017, though. That's what you're missing. He can be the guy he was in 2019.
I mean, but how about?
Whoa. Tom Watt.
He could be the guy. He's in 2021.
He just turns the ball over a lot. He's going to turn the ball over a lot.
I agree with you, but we're talking about teams that aren't. This is why Vegas has these teams down, right?
I agree.
Out of the top 8
I'm not going to pick them.
Who you picking?
I thought I was waiting for your picks.
My pick. Well, I made my other pick. I went Washington. Where are you at?
What'd you say? You said Washington, Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay.
Last chance Hughes.
Mine's Minnesota.
I knew you were going to say Minnesota. Their defense stinks. So go ahead.
I'm not sold on their defense, but I like their offense.
Yeah. Unless there's 2 minutes in the game. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like Kirk. You like that? No, I don't, Kirk. But I don't know. Like Minnesota, I just like Minnesota's roster. And I don't hate their defense. Minnesota's defense ain't bad.
They did lose Anthony Barr, though. That's a big loss.
Yeah, it's a huge loss. I agree. I don't know. I just didn't want to pick the same teams that you guys picked.
No, I like your style. Go ahead. Who's your other one?
Minnesota, and then I can't believe I'm going to say this. No, I can't say that.
What? What were you going to say?
Giants, were you?
No, I would never go Giants.
What were you going to say?
The Giants fucking stink. The Giants stink.
Were you going Lions?
I was thinking about going Lions. I like the Detroit Lions.
Let's go.
I like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I like Amon-Ra. First off, Amon-Ra St. Brown's like Equimonious. I feel like it's going to be a player because I love their dad.
Don John
into people.
Don John just creamed all over his pants.
Well,
I think Detroit's got
Clean
a
it up,
legit
Don.
chance. I don't like Jared Goff, but I think Detroit has a legit chance to win 8 games this year, maybe 9, and maybe it sneaks in the playoffs. You know,
sneaks into an NFC title game.
Well, I'm with you.
Title game
before Hard Knocks.
No, they can't do this.
I've always loved St. Brown, and I took him 20 whatever jerk off picks before the 8 where he's supposed to go. I took him 20 picks before he was supposed to go, and I got me some fucking Amon Brown. Let's go. Love him.
Yeah. I think but like I was gonna say, like, what about can you give me a team in the AFC and NFC that can sneak into the playoffs that you don't like, that no one thinks is gonna be a playoff team? You know what I mean? That's what I want. Like, I don't know about winning the NFC, but God, that's my AFC team too, Tommy. Jacksonville. Absolutely.
I think they're good.
I think so too. Travis Etienne looks good. I like Jacksonville.
I think they got stability. Like
Sunshine.
Doug's the perfect guy to bring in after you go through a dumpster, right? Like after you go through a Chip Kelly, after you go through an Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer.
You bring Doug in, he's getting ice cream. Like then guys want to run through a wall for you. It's a young roster. And in a weak division. Weak division.
Weak
there's been
weak
two
as
dumpster fires. You
shit.
had Doug Marrone first, and then you had Urban Meyer, right?
Fucking, I could stab Doug Marrone. This is why I don't. Everyone asks me why I don't own a gun.
Stabbing.
Everyone asks me why I don't own a gun, and the answer is because I'd have shot Doug Marrone if I owned one. That's the answer. Because Doug Marrone gave this fucking speech about how he wanted to be at Syracuse and nowhere else, and we won back-to-back bowl games. We won the bowl game, and he fucking left, and we've been in shambles since. Fucking scumbag. Fuck you, Doug Marrone.
Fuck Doug Marrone.
And he took Nathaniel Hackett, our own coordinator, with him. Cocksucker. I fucking hate Doug Marrone.
No, I like Jacksonville. So Detroit would be your NFC team, Wilson.
So I'll give my two teams.
Detroit would be my NFC team, and Jacksonville would be my NFC. Yeah.
Since Will's jumped the gun there, I like Minnesota as well. I'm not necessarily sold on their defense. However, I do think getting an offensive guy around Kirk, you might see a different side of Kirk this year. That being said, I still already have a bet on the Eagles week 2. Monday Night Football, Kirk on the road. Yeah, that's an auto bet for the Eagles.
We're gonna lose that game now.
Yep.
Yeah, right. And then
we're like
might as well just check that one the fuck off.
We're like 0-17 because of Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also do like the Carolina Panthers as well, Tommy. My only question mark really is not even Baker, it's Matt Rule. You know what I mean? Like, this is Matt Rule's last shot too, right? Especially when you fire Joe Brady the way you did last year mid-season, as if he was the issue, right? You mean you fired him mid-season as if he was the issue, and which wasn't the case. And now you're putting everything on yourself. So, I like Matt Rule as a college coach. He is yet to prove that he's an NFL coach, though.
No, fair.
How about
a lot of corners? They got a lot of corners over in Carolina. A lot of corners.
What are anybody's thoughts on Seattle? I don't think Seattle's going to be any good.
Well,
no, they stink.
What's funny in this scenario?
I'm sorry, Greg. Go ahead.
No, I was saying in this. Hold on.
Greg, okay?
Uh-oh.
Greg, get vaccinated. Greg, get vaccinated. What are you?
Oh my God! Yep, he just needed a little mellow. That's all. Just need a little mellow. Yeah. That's all.
Why was that a mellow? Why was that? That's just water. That's water.
Oh no, Greg, that's no good. That's the problem. Your body's going through like some
the
sort of
machine said just water and ice only.
What is
this?
The hell is this? What is this? Healthy stuff? We need sugar.
Water and ice only. Who drinks water? Like, who does that?
Yeah, this is bullshit week.
What is this? Healthy?
This is bullshit week.
Like based off the odds around, especially like both majority of the AFC though, like the Las Vegas Raiders are plus 2,500. You know what I mean? So like they're like the least rated team in that West. In the West, so like you could throw the Raiders out there.
So tough.
You could throw the Raiders out there and like not be stepping that far off on a limb, but odds wise you are though, right? You know what I mean? Like,
no. The AFC is loaded, but I love the Raiders because I think obviously, Carr has been playing chip, with a chip on his shoulder for a long time. And he just got his college teammate. That's a monster connection. The Raiders are going to do some special things. Absolutely.
I just think it's about their O-line and Josh Jacobs.
No,
their O-line and Josh Jacobs are good. The Raiders are going to be good.
Yep.
I agree. Their wide receiver core is obviously really good. They got a great tight end. They're going to be in good shape. All right, boys. Phillies finally lose one. They won 6 in a row before today. It happens. Bats weren't available today, obviously.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see that strange stat? Like day games were like 1-7 in the whole month.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Terrible.
I didn't watch it today.
It's really weird considering that we have a really good record in the month. 1-7 in day games. It doesn't make any sense.
It wasn't very good today. I obviously
No,
did
I mean,
watch.
listen, you're gonna listen.
I watched today. It was a shitty game. Ronzi Contreras. I mean, he did his slider was really good today, and we couldn't hit it. I mean,
And we couldn't stop
Pretty
swinging
much.
at it.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Bats dry up. It's and pitchers. My pitcher
And
buddy.
Syndergaard is what
my
we thought
pitch-
he is.
Yeah, exactly. My pitcher buddies always want to defend themselves, and I always leave it open for my pitcher buddies. I say, hey buddies, go ahead, defend yourself. You know what I mean? But Wilson's right. I said it earlier. Thor's who he is. You know what I mean? Like, great. I'm glad he's been subpar against shit teams earlier. You know what I mean? Like, that's great. You know what I mean? So he's done his job thus far. You know what I mean? But like, Thor's who he is. You know what I mean? And then my pitching buddies don't say, "Oh, you didn't hit. Shut the fuck up, man." Like, it was 5-0 game. You know what I mean? Like, Thor, you're supposed to fucking throw a fucking shutout. And if the fucking Phillies decide to hit in the 6th, 7th, 8th inning, then so be it. You can't get your fucking titties lit in 5 1/3. You just can't against the Pirates. The fucking Pirates. Sorry.
I had a feeling it might be a rough one today because I think
Sure.
it was I think we hadn't lost to the Pirates all year before today.
Yes.
And would have if we have won today, we would have swept the Pirates for the season series, which I don't think we've done since like 1900.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we won 6 out of 7 on the year. Today was obviously the loss.
So what do you guys real quick?
But we're going to
We
Arizona.
got Diamondbacks,
Going to Arizona tomorrow night.
We got Mad Bum,
Ranger,
Gallon,
Mad Bum,
and then
Noah Gowan on Tuesday. Giddy up!
I was
a
gonna
young
say,
kid for them.
If you
on
miss
Wednesday.
Gallon, and Kelly, you'd be in good shape.
Kelly
So-
pitched
No,
yesterday.
we got-
so we'll miss him.
We don't pitch. We don't face Kelly. We face the young kid on Wednesday. Gallon on Tuesday.
Yep.
Mad Bum tomorrow. I mean, I like our matchups. Arizona's been swinging the stick a little bit though, but I think we can go. Can we go take 2 or 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
We'd love
what
to take all 3, but can we go take 2 or 3?
yeah, that's what I was asking.
You gotta take 2 or 3.
I mean, that keeps pace. You're 2.5 up on Milwaukee. You're was that 4 up on? You're 2.5 up on San Diego. You're 4 up on Milwaukee. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
you-
and
and
San
realistically,
Diego's been playing bad teams and keeps losing. They still got to see more of the Dodgers. So hey, keep losing to bad teams, San Diego. We're fine with that.
You could almost add a half game on top of that because we owe the tiebreaker on both of them, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we have less games played than the Padres too.
Agreed.
By the way, did you see my text? Dodgers on pace for 113.
Yep.
Yeah, they're okay. They're not bad.
yeah, they'll make it.
And honestly, I it's weird to say this, but I don't want. I'm rooting for the Braves to keep losing games because we're probably not going to catch the Braves realistically, but I do not want the Braves to catch the Mets because realistically it looks like we're probably going to end up as the second wild card as long as we hold off San Diego, and which means we would play the first wild card, and I'm fine with playing Atlanta. I do not want to play the Mets because that's in New York. Scherzer, DeGrom in a 3-game series, and that's bye-bye. Nope. I don't want any part of that. Give me Atlanta. I'll take
Well
Atlanta.
said it. Well, I said it last
why,
week.
And that's why Greg said. And that's why Greg said it last week. I'm sure Tommy and yourself, as Philly fans, would stamp that. In an ideal world, you would love to be the third wild card, so you can take your shot at the Cardinals. And go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I would love to lose, but I don't want to risk missing the playoffs. So
No, I don't want the Cardinal sweeps. I actually think I'd rather have the Braves.
Listen, I'm not saying that like
I think me personally would rather have the Braves in there.
I'm not saying that as a cocksucker.
we play against it. We play. Listen,
Atlanta.
it would be a great.
Atlanta.
It would be a
play
great
Atlanta
series.
Cup. We play
You
Atlanta.
do, Tommy, and it would be a great series against Atlanta.
You would
I
rather
really would.
We don't play St. Louis well, I feel like.
You would rather
Actually,
play-
we do play St. Louis well.
Do we? It doesn't feel like it.
I would love to play St. Louis. We'll kill St. Louis. No offense, Hoops.
No, you won't. But you would rather play the Central.
We always hit St.
I'll
Louis.
let-
I got no
I'll
issue with
let
that.
your heads
Bring St. Louis on.
Exactly.
Just not Chris Carpenter.
That's my point. You would love to play the Cardinals. I don't know if you would ask for that, but you would absolutely want that. Absolutely.
I just don't want to have to be third wild card team and be like biting my nails whether we're going to get in. I'd rather just be the second wild card team and then face the Braves. That's what I want. I would love to get to the first wild card team and host, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, God bless you. I can't believe you were like, you would rather fucking hope you're in and play the Braves. You're crazy.
Oh, listen, I would rather play St. Louis than the Braves. Yes.
Exactly.
100%.
That's what I'm saying.
1,000%. But then we're the third wild card, and that means we're losing games. That means that San Diego's passing us. So then maybe Milwaukee's tight with us. It's too much. We haven't been to the playoffs in 11 years, Sweeps. We're not the Cardinals that get in every year. Okay, so hush your shit. We're trying to get the fuck in.
That's what I'm saying. I'm giving you that, buddy. I'm not.
I don't give a fuck who we play. Why do we care who we play?
Yeah.
I really don't care who we play. I'd rather just not play Milwaukee. Not play the Mets.
Listen, I've never been this guy in my history.
The Mets have something on us.
I don't root on. In the history of watching sports, I've learned, especially the Philly fan, I don't root on playing who I want to play. I just want to be in it because I'm probably going to lose against who I want to play. Makes sense? Because that's how it works in Philly. So if I want to play somebody, I'm like, oh, that's our best matchup. We'll lose that series. If I play somebody where
the Hawks, I remember that series.
Yeah, if we play somebody better than us, that's when we give up expectations. Right? 2017 Eagles played somebody that was better than them. Right?
No, we didn't.
Well, okay.
No, New England was better than us. Yes.
They were better than us. So,
yes.
So my point
but leading up to there, I would say we didn't. We always luck out. Like Minnesota catches a fucking Hail Mary. Fucking what's it called? Got pushed by Lene Kakua. Spectacular.
You're right.
I mean, listen, and then the Phillies fucking Tampa Bay beats Boston. Love it.
Give me the Mets. Give me the Braves.
Bad.
I don't give a fuck. Like, give me the Mets. Give me the Braves.
I'd rather not see the Mets. The Mets just have something on us.
But just hear me out, though. If I'm meant to be there, if I'm really meant to be there, then I'll beat one of those teams. If I'm meant to be in.
I hear you.
I'm good enough. If I'm not throwing out.
I personally think that we'll beat Atlanta. I really do.
I think the Mets sweep us, but I think the Mets.
I don't think you even sniffed the. I don't think you sniffed the Braves, but
I think we beat the Braves.
No, I don't think that at all. I think you.
I do.
Greg.
I do.
I think you.
I think we beat the Braves.
I'm giving you credit. I'm thinking you and Greg are right about wanting the Cardinals. Absolutely. I don't think you even fucking sniffed the Braves though. And that's my.
We have a winning record against the Braves on the season.
Nah, I don't care about Braves. I don't care about records. Come on.
Okay.
You're. I know. I'm not saying you're.
I hear you, but I like our matchups against the Braves.
You're a jackass. I'm not saying you're a jackass, and I'm not saying you're a homer. Just look at the matchup and say, tell me you're okay.
We haven't hit Spencer Strider yet, but we've already seen him twice, and we're probably going to see him again in the regular season. So I like the fact that we see him multiple times.
Yeah, we got 4 left with him.
And we usually hit fucking Charlie Morton. And we didn't last time we played him, but we usually do. And Max Fried's a good player. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know. I feel like I'd rather see the Braves. That's all. Give me the Braves.
Well, it's not like we're going to run out. Like in any of these series, this is why I don't care because we're running out our best 3. Or we think.
I totally agree. I'm just saying. What's going on with fucking Wheeler?
Listen, all I'm saying is I don't give a shit who I play right now. Right, I'm just such get in. If I'm really meant to be in, I'll beat somebody.
We have a month. We have a month and a week.
I mean,
to get in the playoffs.
Mets never score for DeGrom. So you're running.
You are right about that.
You're running into a barrel. You're running into a barrel. 2-0. You 2-0 good guys in a game like that. Maybe he makes a mistake, right? And you're in a game where maybe you win it 2-1. So I mean, I'm not saying DeGrom's making a mistake, but he's also human, even though he's filthy. But
he won't.
They lost. He might
not, night. But he might not sweep. But he's also, he's facing a really good lineup that can hit. So maybe they do get him for 1 or 2 runs, right? Like it's not like it's asking for a ton. So my point is with the Mets, they don't hit for him. Scherzer, listen, Max is a stud. We know it, but is he the same Max? I don't know. I feel like we hit him. I feel like we've always hit him.
He's kind of a stud, but guess what? They haven't been hitting for him either.
But
he lost 1-0 today.
But they don't hit.
To Wilson's point, to Wilson's point, if of the two, you would rather play the Braves, which seems like you would which seems like you would want somebody to punch you in the dick repeatedly 100 times. If somebody said, "Hey, I'll play the Braves over the Mets," and you'd be like, "You're a fucking loser." But no, Wilson might be onto something. I don't think you guys have any chance to beat the Mets.
Jesus.
No. I don't mean that. I mean that.
Listen, the Mets have owned us all season. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, exactly. Proof is in the pudding. You can't beat the Mets. So you might as well fucking try the fucking Braves. Go ahead. Absolutely.
Yeah, let the Dodgers beat the Mets.
Hold on. Wouldn't that be though the time where you haven't been in the playoffs in over a decade? You get in, you get the Mets. Now everybody in the city says, "All right, we're done." That's a series they go win.
I would love to go win that series.
Maybe you go win. I don't want either one. I'll say this: the Braves hit more. I don't want to see the Braves. They hit more, and I feel like they hit us at SunTrust or whatever freaking park it's called nowadays. They hit us there. They always hit us there. Okay, the Mets overall aren't a really good hitting team. They got like four guys that I like. But like they're not.
Yeah, but the Mets have something over us. Louis Guillorme will go 3 for fucking 4.
That's my point. Exactly.
Like Mark Canha will hit a fucking homer. Brandon Nimmo, I'll have to watch Brandon Nimmo sprint the first fucking 4 times.
I'm with Tommy and I'm with Wilson. I'm 50-50 on that one because besides obviously the two fucking monsters, the two elephants in the room, DeGrom and Max. The Mets don't scare me no more.
Edwin.
The Mets don't scare me no matter. I've said this all year. Great job, and what a team effort. And Buck, way to keep them together, Buck. Good for you, buddy. The Mets don't scare me for shit because I don't respect the Mets. I mean, like as a team, I do. And what they've accomplished, absolutely. I'm not going to poo-poo that. They take Tommy's word. But the Mets, they don't do nothing for me. And I know what they've done, and I respect what they've done. But I'll take the Mets all day. You know what I mean? Obviously,
I'll take the Mets
all day.
With this
lineup don't do shit for me. Don't do shit for me.
With this lineup that I'm rolling out against the Mets with Harper back and getting Marsh back in center field per se. Not that Marsh is Harper, but you guys know what I mean. Like having at least
he's not going to drop a ball like Verling did today.
Yeah. So my point
start to the game today, Verling.
My point is this lineup's filthy. So like if you want to say, all right, hey, the Mets don't hit a lot, but they got 2 studs they're throwing and a closer that's lights out. Right, but we have a lineup that can get up 2-0, 3-0 on you. And you say, because when you talk about these types of starters, DeGrom, Scherzer,
there would be nothing I would like more than to beat the Mets in the playoffs. I'll say that.
All of them. I'll tell you this: if you want to get to them, we know this. The old rule: it got to be early. It's usually got to be early. If you can't let them get comfortable, so I got trust in this lineup as it's assembled right now. I mean, you're talking about Nick Castellanos in a 6-hole, right? I mean, come on. I mean, let's call it out what it is. I mean, he's
8th in the NL in hits.
Nick Castellanos is in your. Nick Castellanos is in our.
Gene Segura was in your 8-hole. Yeah, I mean, same thing.
So, I mean, this lineup's really good. So, I mean, I think I don't know if I want to get into a mash fest with the Braves, but I feel like if I play the Braves, I got to be able to win. In my opinion, I got to be able to win 7-5 games. I got to be able to win 7-4 games. Like I got to be able to score runs if I'm playing Atlanta. I have to. With the Mets, 4 runs might win me a ball game. 3 runs might win me.
2 runs might win you a ball game.
Maybe. But I think you understand the point. Is that like
the Mets just hit us though for some fucking reason. I agree with you that the Mets don't really hit, but they hit us.
I'm in Sweeps' world. I'm like 50-50 on it. Like and you can take the Cardinals in there too. Like I'm not. We also got to see how we played the last week of the season too. So I mean, we're not there yet. We're at the home stretch. We'll cross this bridge when we get there. All right, on who we're about to play, who we.
Yeah, I mean, let's just make the playoffs first, huh?
Yeah,
let's keep winning series.
We're acting like
we have Arizona. What do we have? Arizona, and then who else this week? We have a road trip. Okay. Yeah, San Fran will probably beat us.
Yep, spitting ice cream right in our face. All right, Crumb of the week, boys.
I'll start off. I don't have not a major one. But Scotty Scheffler today, tour championship, final event of the year, 6-stroke lead going into the final round. $18 million on the line, and then the dude throws up a dud and gets caught by Rory.
How much did he make though?
He made, because he tied. I have to check. Second place was like 6.5, but he actually tied for second place. So I gotta see what the tie money was. You know what I mean?
$3.5 million day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think they take second and third combined
Greg's Crumb.
and split that.
Of course, Greg is.
But no, I just didn't want Rory McIlroy to win.
That
Because
was my point. I don't care what you did. I knew you were anti-Rory because Rory's Johnny PGA Tour.
Yeah.
I knew it. And that's okay. You were Johnny fucking Live Tour.
Let's go live.
Suck a dick.
Yep.
You would suck his
Greg-
fucking Saudi. You would suck the biggest Saudi dick in the world. And that's okay, man.
Hey, just give me
They're the guys that are showing the money.
Greg would suck a Saudi dick.
5.8.
He'll give money to terrorists. Just great.
Wait, he made $5.8 million.
$18 million for Rory, who won it, and Scotty won 5.8.
Yikes!
And Scotty started the week at 10. Scotty started like the way the PGA, the way they do this, the final event is very strange. Like your top 10 start the round already under par. Like Scotty started round 1 at 10 under par, and then the next closest was 8 under par. So it's weird. They stagger. Like
he has the best chance to win. Yeah.
Yeah. So they gave him the best chance to win, and he was up 6 strokes to start the round.
Today,
and,
today's
and
round.
lost today. He's
And
up
Rory
6
was down 6.
So how much did he make?
5.8.
He made 5.8.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, guess what? The PGA's they're trying to keep some people.
Yeah.
So this is the only tournament that pays out like this because it's the last one.
Yeah, but next year though, the PGA's
The
up
next
in a
year
lot of
they're going
tournaments.
to they're going to
Yes, they are.
make a lot of changes to try and compete.
Basically, you know what that means? Golfers are licking their lips right now. So
Yes,
get out
they
there and work on your game. Work on your game. I should talk to myself. Work on your game.
Yep. I agree with you.
I had like 7 really, really good shots when I played on Friday. I had a lot that weren't very good. I had some mediocre shots.
Come on, you couldn't even get one a hole?
No.
You couldn't get one good shot a hole?
No, I mean like real. I'm not talking about like a decent shot. I mean really good shots.
No, I hear you.
I put a par 3 within 4 feet.
Here you go. Did you make the putt?
Yes, I did. I also had. I parred a hole when I put like maybe a 165 to within like 3.5 feet, but then I also missed like. I 3-putted a bunch. I missed a bunch of like fucking 4 to 6 footers. Like, the green was fast as fuck though. It was killing me. Lightning fast, Greg. But it was. The course was really nice.
Nice.
Twisted Dune. And guess what? There is a lot of fucking dunes. I'll tell you that.
I haven't played there in a while.
It was nice, except the people in front of us. We only had 3, so I was kind of hoping they were going to let us go through, and they didn't the whole time, and they were like fucking jagoffs. It was really bothering me. Like the one dude on the first tee, like we're already waiting for them to tee off, right? There's no one in front of them. Like there was, but they were well in front. And the fucking dude takes, like he hits one, and he fucking mulligans first tee. We're mulligan first tee, dude.
Yeah, I mean breakfast ball. Everyone does that.
No, dude, come on. I hit a fucking when people are waiting. I hit a ground ball.
No, dude,
I played my
not when
ground
people are
ball
waiting.
like a fucking man.
But you get a breakfast ball.
I'm with Wilson. I'm horseshit, and
I didn't hit a ball
never-
there off the tee.
I don't like holding people up. You know what I mean? So I'll try to use my mulligan around 7, 8, or 9. You know what I mean?
Honestly, Greg, I shot at 104. Then I went 56-48.
Okay.
I broke 50 on the back. I shot pretty well on the back, but the front 9, at first 3 holes I went 8-7-8. I mean, that's how you know that you're in for a rough day. I was like, man, this better get better. And then I did. I started hitting the ball better. I hit the ball in the air off the tee till 4th hole. So
there you go.
I mean, three ground balls off the tee. I'm like,
you should have taken a breakfast ball.
This is great. Apparently I should have.
So, Wells, is that your crumb?
My crumb is I might crumb myself for not playing enough golf. I try to go out I fucking go out and play with guys that play fucking like every week, and I play fucking twice a summer. And what am I doing? Of course I'm not gonna look good. Fucking idiot. But yeah, I'll go. I don't know. I don't really have a crumb. My crumb is the fucking fans that were the Eagles fans that were overreacting about the Eagles getting blown out in the preseason game.
Come on, Wells. Come on.
And I'm just gonna piggyback into letting Tom tell you why.
No, you can tell the people that like.
No, go ahead because I mean I stand by and I've firmly stamped this for years is that I don't give a fuck what happens in preseason. Just stay healthy. Don't even tell me the stats because I don't care. It's all false gold. It's all falsehoods. Don't tell me, oh, this guy's looked good. I don't give a fuck. He's not going to play. All right? Just let the starters be healthy. I don't give a fuck about anything else.
Yeah. I mean, I've been fooled before in the past by it. Sam Bradford here. So
yeah, well, I may have gotten excited that year.
I always paid attention to it. Because I was curious about like players they signed, but I never like took a lot of stock into it outside of that year, like thinking we were going to be really good. But I've been with you for years. I just think people that can tell you they're not really like either they're diehard fans or they just can't like wrap their head around that it doesn't matter, you know. But
you say at all. It's all vanilla.
In every sport, it's the same thing. It's just reps, so it means nothing. So I mean, I don't know. You know, I just never watched it.
Yeah, and they show nothing. It's all vanilla. It's just reps, like you said. It's just reps. No. Do some guys need the reps? Absolutely, guys need the reps. But like I
finally becoming what it's supposed.
I just don't put any stock into preseason. That's all.
It's finally becoming what it's supposed to be, and that's hey, who are the fringe guys? Who are the guys that maybe can play in the NFL that we don't know about, right? And that's what it's for, man. And that's what it's been for a while. So, I mean, to me, it's like, guys, unless you're looking at like certain like young players and you want to like take a peekaboo at guys, then that's fine. But even that, like, don't overreact. I mean, you should be able to see like, okay, this guy looks like he can play. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you should be able to see at least like something. Mm-hmm. Just stop letting it matter. Week 1, let the overreactions pour in.
Yeah.
Like week 1, you want to come on here? If we lose to the Lions and freak out, I hear you. I'll tell you.
Yeah. Then I'll listen to you.
I'll tell you, you know, it's still a long season, but not a good look. And yeah, go ahead.
No, you say the league and the players even tell you that it's not important because they took away a game. You know what I mean? And then it's not like any of the veterans, the guys that are solidified. It's not like they're itching to play. Oh, they're screaming, "Oh, let me play." So I mean, the game's evolving to where they're even telling you it's not even important. With that though, you just better be ready to go week 1, right? You know what I mean? Like, you better be able to turn that switch on.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give them credit last year. I mean, week 1, offensively, they were good. They scored after that.
Yeah, we're going to stomp the Lions.
After that, we sort of slowed down as a football team. We hit a little like rut. Maybe we weren't ready.
Even though I did say they might be.
But now the whole league's doing it. The whole league's essentially doing it. It doesn't.
Yeah, you're right about that, Tommy.
It's about like, hey, can I keep these guys healthy for 17 games? You know, and I think that's where it became the thing. Like when you're playing an extra football game during the season now, you know, I don't even like, you know, I talked about earlier. Hey, what does Jalen Hurts deserve not to even get like a few more reps? But the other side of it is like, you know, we got a 17-week season. I need this guy to be healthy too. And the less Jets hits he can take,
Yeah.
The more chance I have this guy being able to withstand 17 weeks. So, listen, I wouldn't even play guys at all. I would do 2 preseason games, let you figure out your roster from there. That's enough tape for you. You know what I mean? You find out if guys can play. The rest of it's just all a waste of time. But
terrible job.
then the end
My Crumb might be the Celtics 2010 NBA championship, Game 7. The Celtics at the 10 seconds left. Let Rajon Rondo 3. They settled for Rajon Rondo 3. How the fuck are you letting Rajon Rondo shoot that 3-pointer there?
Sweeps, you got a Crumb?
Hang on. Oh my goodness.
Kenley Jansen walking in the winning run last night.
Yeah, I mean, Greg, fuck you, Greg.
Tyler O'Neill swinging 3-0 in the situation. Like, what is that?
I got plenty of crumbs. Like you guys said, probably the biggest thing is
thanks, Paul.
No, the biggest thing is the preseason guys. Whether you're an Eagles fan or you're a fan of any team, you know what I mean? Like, let preseason play out the way it's supposed to play out. You know what I mean? Whether you feel like a starter or whatever position it is supposed to play more than it's supposed to play, and you're supposed to do this and do that. Just let it play out. You know what I mean? It's preseason. You know what I mean? So whether your guy is 6 for 7 for 100 yards, and that gives you a little red rocket, good for you. Or red rocket. Your guy is is 2 for 4 and 40 yards, and that's and that gives you a boner, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, whatever boner it gives you, just relax. It's preseason football. You know what I mean?
Here we go. EAGLES, Eagles.
They're bad. Good. I love that meme right there. Good or bad. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And just understand it. From your whatever personnel whatever team or whatever personnel you're rooting for. It is what it is, dude. The lights haven't gone on yet. All right. And when the lights go on, hey, maybe you're that dude. Whatever you got to do to be that dude, walk around the league and whatever team you're rooting for. If you have a dude or you have multiple dudes, then you got a shot. And that's the bottom line. And that's the Eagles included. I'm not going to talk about the Dolphins. I'm going to talk about the Eagles. If you got a dude at each position, or if you got multiple dudes, you got a shot to end up in the NFC Championship game. If you don't, then you're nobody. Then you're just a fraud. And that goes for the players, not for the fans. Be a dude. The best thing somebody can tell you is to be a fucking dude. Be a fucking dude.
I like that. I will say one thing real quick before we go. And most people will say that I'm just saying this because I fucking hate this team and I hate their fans. And you're right. But I think that Dallas is going to stink. Mark it down. You heard it here first. Dallas stinks.
I don't disagree with you. You lose. We talk
you lose your left tackle.
Only got Zach Martin left. Which isn't a bad thing to have left, but that's all. All right, boys. Great show, like always.
Absolutely.
Went from thinking we just had me and Greg to party.
Quick hour it out. Dude,
I don't know how I was
2.5.
Text, by the way, Tommy.
Yeah, I texted you. I said, "Yo, you coming on?"
I texted you back that I wasn't getting a text. And then all of a sudden, like maybe 10 minutes later, I got like a flood of texts, including the StreamYard thing. I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
He told me. He said you're out. So I'm like, dude, drug sweeps, has to reevaluate and get to the fucking dance table. Get to the fucking dance floor.
Yeah, because when you didn't answer me well, so I'm like, oh man, he might be asleep or he might be out. I'm like, he's out, because I wasn't sure, because I was at Steve's and I didn't know what time we were really getting out of there. And
I was waiting for your text, figuring like, oh, he's gonna text me, and then it was getting later. I was like, is he like scrapping it? And then I got that text from you, and I was like, wait, am I missing texts?
No, I'm glad I didn't scrap. I didn't know what next Sunday was going to look like, so we're traveling. So I was like, you know what? Let's get one in. We got to get one in. But
yeah, and I have a fantasy draft next Sunday. I'm not sure when, but
good. We'll figure out.
But I think I'm good. I think I'm good to go next Sunday night. Next Monday is Labor Day, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. I think I'm good.
All right, boys. Great show. I'd like to thank our doc, as always, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. If you're in the Levittown area, go check out our good friends at Gleason's Bar, located 6700 Mill Creek Avenue, Levittown, PA. Use our promo code A2D for 10% off your order whenever you dine in, take out, or online, but it has to go through Gleason's Bar and Steaks.com. Make sure you use our promo code A2D. Fan Up, you got to check out their interactive way for fantasy sports. Fantasy football right around the block here. Go use our promo code A2D over at Fan Up. You get $50, okay, using our promo code. Fan Up, best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, even more. You can download them right in the Apple Store. Fan Up is what they're called. Go download it. And any property damage or home damage, our good friends at Araya Public Adjusting may be able to help. Don't fight your homeowner's insurance alone. Contact Araya Public Adjusting, 813-564-3364. They're also on all your social media platforms as well. Good friend Sean Klein, great friend of A2D in the show. We love him over there. And we appreciate all our sponsors. And we got a lot of giving. So go get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Upgrade your life, people. Please upgrade it. Clean your life.
Upgrade it. Clean it up.
And in the need, looking to buy or sell a house right now. Okay. Looking to cash in. Even solar panels. Our good friend, Alan Foy, got you covered over at EXP Realty. The main sponsor on the weekly roundup was Zach Burr. Good friend to him. Good friend to Zach's. And is the head basketball coach at a Christian Academy. I don't know, in Delaware now. He's got the head coach there for basketball, and good friend of A2D for a while at their academy. He was the head coach at Doane, and now he's down there with them as the AD. So congratulations to those two guys. And we appreciate all you guys that tuned in and listened. If you haven't already, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the follow. Stay around. It's free. Free to subscribe. We love you all. We're out.